That's right, gamers, you know who it is. It's internet sensation, God Save the Cam. Hi, how are you? Welcome to the video games show, where I play those. Those are the ones. Hi, Jake, and no one else, I think. Bio still says I'm playing Ocarina of Time. Oh, is that in my description? Yeah, I finished that a couple days ago. Yeah, I need to change that. Ah! But no one, I think you're the only person who's ever looked at that. No, that's probably not true. I don't think, it's just that no one's ever pointed it out. But you're right, very, very frequently I forget to update that. You would think I'd be on top of that. No, not even slightly. Do I have all the things in my position? Can you not see all the messages I sent before stream start? Because it's a saga. Cameron, I'm literally shaking. I'm so excited for stream. Been fasting all day. Saved my last meal in the house for this. Don't let me down. Oh, I won't. Oh, I won't. Oh my god, 30 seconds. Oh my god, Cam's gonna come on stream soon, guys. Oh, it's me. My presence is a gift. We're gonna play Animal Crossing. Give me a second to make sure all my ducks are in order. And welcome to my house, my real life house, where real life Cam is. It's just me and Cam. Is this what it feels like when an OnlyFans girl responds to your message? Can we get someone else in chat to weigh in on that feeling? No, because that's the whole crux of your joke, is that no one else is here. Okay, so today there's absolutely no occasion for this stream. This is the first time in a long time that I pulled up Animal Crossing simply to vibe in it. I don't really have a plan for the day. I need to make sure my volume's a little lower. I don't really have a plan for the day, but I think that's fine. You don't normally have a plan in Animal Crossing. What am I missing here? Bugnet. I need to get a bugnet in a second. I guess I'll do that while I ramble. I had an open out test due tonight at midnight, so I waited till today to start it, only to find out it's a fucking small research. Oh god! Oh no! I'm sorry. Is it something you can reasonably get done? Quality be damned, at least. Yeah, so end my life. Epic. How long does it have to be? That's frustrating, I'm sorry. It's just like marketing bullshit, but like far more than expected. I know that feel. Okay. I got me my bug net. So last time we did festival, and then all the times before that we did a bunch of holidays. So it's been like many months since I did this just for fun. I don't think I've done this just for fun since like August, if that. So really today, I'm just gonna kind of run around and get the money rock immediately. Today I'm gonna try and focus on fishing, because there is one specific fish that leaves at the end of March that I won't be able to get for another year if I don't get it now. So we're gonna be focusing on finding one very specific fish and getting money wherever I can. 4 questions that are like SAQs, but you have to cite real company profit graphs and shit. Oh lord. Oh no. Is it like is it one of those where you open it and you can start it anytime, but once you start it, you have like 90 minutes or whatever? Or is this something that like they expected you to like dedicate a good bit of time to? It's actually untimed, which is based. That is based. Happy Home Academy, Rank S, Wahoo. Bank of Nook. Oh my god, 1,000 bells of interest. Okay, so this Nintendo letter, I assume, has to do with the recent update. As of, I think, like 2 or so days ago, they added Mario-themed items to the game. A thing that's been in other Animal Crossing games from the start, so it does kind of suck that they waited almost a year to add it to this one, but it is a thing. Thank you for downloading the update. Let's see what very cool thing they attached here. Mushroom mural. Time to go plaster my walls with Mario things. Completely unlike me. I think she expected us to dedicate a few hours to it. Yeah, that's a little... Yeah, when I think test, I would not typically think having to actually cite a bunch of sources from outside things. Cool. That's a neat wall. I'll keep it up for now. Why not? Probably put up the fireworks wall later, but you know, who else has a wallpaper that's a fucking extended GIF? COVID Zoom thinks she wanted to get away from memorization in a time test. That makes sense. That makes sense. Ultimately good. I just realized I just wish I realized it was writing sooner. Completely fair. Completely fair. Oh, what's on the bulletin board? We have another birthday, folks. March 7th belongs to Molly. Early shout out to the birthday resident. Enjoy your special day. There will be another Animal Crossing stream in 6 days. I know you're all excited. This still isn't fucking filled in. Okay. So, what are my goals for today? I'm gonna try and catch one specific fish. I'm gonna go for like 4 different fish that are all available in March because it's been a long time since I dedicated time specifically to fishing. But what am I looking for? A stringfish. It is a 5-star rarity, apparently. So I'll fish out like 100 different fish before I actually get anything. Very epic. Do I have any assignment horror stories from this semester? No, not really. Twice now I have realized 30 minutes before a due date that I have a discussion post due because they're so tiny that they're always in the back of my mind, but usually I can get them done by that time. The worst feeling is one time I had one of those. I realized at 11:30, oh god, I have a thing due at noon and I haven't read the document that I'm supposed to be answering a question on, and then I turned it in at 12:02. I did in fact lose a third of my points for turning it in 2 minutes late. It's fine. It's fine. It's not a heavily weighted assignment, but it still sucked. Hi, Mira. Well, where have you been? It's been like a week now. If that. I understand that whenever it's been a month for me, but it's not been that long. Should have said something. Getting worried about me. I take extended leaves of absence all the time. This is in character for me. At least discussions are only like 10% of the grade. Yeah, absolutely. It absolutely could have been worse. Am I lucky on the first go? No, it's exact opposite. No, I thought that was a bass. No, that's a yellow perch. Slightly better than a bass. I think I've told the horror story, but I'll tell it again of how my very first written college assignment in freshman year, I woke up the morning after it was due and realized I didn't do it. It was very cool. And it was one of those classes where if it's late, I get exactly no credit, but I did send an email and I ended up getting 70% and it was all like fine. It wasn't super highly weighted, but it wasn't just like a discussion thing. It was a 1 to 1.5 page paper I was supposed to write, and I just completely fucking slipped my mind. It was early enough in the semester that I guess I didn't have all my organized notes together and all the dates written out because, you know, that doesn't happen to me, but sure did for the very first thing in one of my very first classes. Don't mind me, just doing the exciting activity of weeding my garden and picking up tree branches. Hello, Claudia. Seems like ages since... It really hasn't been that long, I promise. 1 month ago now. I think because I've been changing the time on my Switch, that maybe our last couple conversations didn't actually count. Maybe there's like some measures in place that like make sure you can't cheese certain aspects of the game by time traveling. Normally you can change your system clock to make to time travel through Animal Crossing, and I had to do that to show off one of the holidays recently because the holiday happened on the week of the big Texas winter storm. So I time traveled twice to do that, and I guess that means it did not register my conversations with these people. It's been a while. Yeah, I know. Seems kind of empty without me. I'm sorry. I really apologize that you love and cherish me and are sad when you don't see me. I'm sorry for being mad about that. Oh, hello, Celeste. Been a long time since I've seen you. Have you been admiring the sky? So many shooting stars tonight. There's one. There's one right over. Hold up. I came across a recipe for an astronomical project in a book and jotted it down. I would like you to have it. Do let me know if you try building it, would you? She shows up, like, on random nights and gives you astronomy-themed, I actually think it's astrology-themed things. No, those are linked to... Sorry, no, they're astronomy-themed. Pisces lamp, yes, it's based on a constellation. Astrology's based on that. It is astronomy-themed. I'm sorry, Celeste, for insinuating that you are funny. I got a Pisces lamp. But yeah, I don't think I've ever actually played this on a night of shooting stars overhead, because there's a mechanic where if there are shooting stars, you can like look up at the sky and make a wish, and something will appear. I've never done that. Astronomy, because her name is Celeste. Anything new in college for you? Anything story-worthy? I don't think so. I'm currently reading a awful biography of Sam Houston for my Texas history class. I didn't know that Sam Houston was like a protege of Andrew Jackson. So that was cursed to learn. Because most things portray him as like one of the few based people in Texas politics. And then like the first thing the book leads with is he's a protege of Andrew Jackson, the genocide man himself. Late to the vibes as usual. Hi, Donnie. Welcome. How you doing? And me. It's... Oh my god. Partly hosted the stream. Thank you. I appreciate that. How you doing? I'm weeding my town. The fishing will happen soon, I promise. I promise we'll get to the good stuff. In the meantime, I'm rambling about Samuel R. Houston. I have no idea what his middle initial is. I'm sure it's told me, and I just don't remember. Oh, there's a... Okay, how do the shooting stars work? How do the shooting stars work? He's based in the mid-1800s sense in that he didn't want to exterminate Native Americans. And was the protege of the biggest one who wanted to exterminate Native Americans. Based in the mid-1800s sense. He was. And he argued for, I think he argued for the abolition of slavery, but... Look at them in press A. Okay, that's what I thought. I have to wait until they're overhead again, I guess. I can vibe until it arrives. I heard a cricket in the ground. God, okay, I guess the weeds didn't actually, I guess all the weeding that I did, like, on Festival didn't count. Are weeds exempt from time travel somehow? I don't know how that works. And the predecessor to the Texan president who started Native American genocide in Texas. This is true. This is true. I'm wondering if the book's gonna have any mention of good old boy Mirabeau B. Lamar. There are still people named after Mirabeau Lamar. Yep, this is true. So far, we've very briefly mentioned him in my Texas history class. We shockingly, like, went over the whole Texas Revolution and Texas's time as a republic in, like, one lecture. The class is very strangely organized. Not people thinks, yes. Yes. Go back to that time PragerU literally released a pro-slavery video that called John Brown a radical that had to be stamped out. No shock here at all. Not even slightly. Anyway, it's also the biography I'm reading, for those just walking in, I'm rambling about how I have to read a Sam Houston biography for my Texas history class. It's one of those that's just really bizarrely written, where it, like, you know how, you know when older men, like, specifically go after younger women, and then there's, like, no men, not, and then, like, writing about it isn't critical of it or even neutral on it. It always puts, like, this weird positive spin on it. Well, Sam Houston almost exclusively dated people like dated and married people like 20 years his younger, and the book keeps referring to it as his weakness for younger, attractive women. And it's just, Ew. Ew. Stop writing like that. Gross. Please. I gotta get back at this assignment. Completely fair. Also, that's nasty. But I'll catch you later. Okay, bye, Jake. Thanks for stopping by. Good luck on the test. Ew. Yeah, it's like a minor blemish on a work that's easily going to have much bigger problems whenever it's not overtly critical of like people who were pro-slavery and shit like that. People who tolerated the genocide, man. But like, can you... Weakness for younger women. Shut up. Just shut up. I'm not saying you have to be like aggressively critical of it in the biography. You don't even have to do that. Just be completely neutral about it. Just say he married this person who was 20 years his younger. You don't have to flowerize that with language. You don't. I promise you. History books don't paint perverts as good people challenge. Now there's a sight for bad eyes. They keep making fun of me for staying inside too long. Anyways, I am drinking 2 cans of Sprite. Sprite? Thank God. I would have it no other way. Have I done, I guess, all the weeding I need to? I'm gonna check in on Flip. Oh yeah, Lamar was VP to Houston. This was true. Training my brain muscles for this thing called telepathy. It's for strong minds only. I started thinking really, really hard about you, and here you are. Was that supposed to be... Were you also making fun of me for not being here? Like, were you dedicating yourself to summoning me because it's been so long since you've seen me? Animal Crossing be like, yo, it's COVID. Why the fuck you not been playing every day? That's how it feels. I feel bad when I don't play this game. I know it's not, that's a cliche thing to say about Animal Crossing, but wow, when I'm away from this for a long time, I don't want to go back because they all start guilt tripping me about not playing a video game. I have to be strategic about eating food now, and it sucks. Oh God. Like, in what specific way? Like, when to go out and get food because pandemic? Kind of same, though. Yeah. There's a reason I didn't, I mean, other than just not being patient because I was a youngster, but there's a reason I didn't play a ton of New Leaf whenever I got it. I played a ton in the first 2 weeks and then didn't go any further. Not played the game since summer. It doesn't help that this one in particular is lacking in certain content areas. For a second, I didn't even recognize you. It's been that long. See, this one's just funny because, like, when was Festival? Like, 2 weeks ago. If that. Like, a week and a half ago. I don't remember the date. It was the 15th, I think. So 2 weeks ago. It's not been a month. They're acting like it's been a billion years, and several of them have specifically said it's been 1 month. It's because of the time travel, but, like, no, it's not been a month. Like, I only drink caffeinated beverages before 2 p.m. and sugary sodas afterwards, so I don't stay up super late. Okay, that makes sense. That makes a lot of sense. Should have just said strategic about caffeine, but still. Completely fair. I would like these shooting stars to happen again. The game's Yes, it is. I hate that. Every time it happens, it's like, oh, when someone's gonna watch the VOD, as if people watch my VODs, but someone's gonna watch the VOD, and then just for the first 30 minutes, there will be no game audio. What happened to do that? I never mute the thing, but to be fair, I never pay attention to the Animal Crossing audio. I mean, yeah, it's a quiet game. There's not a ton going on, but that said, it's still frustrating. All right, I think it's time to devote myself to my true calling, and that is fishing. Watched your rando VODs. Very epic. Wasn't there one of those where I also just didn't have audio for like a solid... No, that was Animal Crossing. No, that was Super Mario Sunshine. Where like of the first hour I had no audio. It's very cool. Okay, so today, since we're just vibing, there's no reason I'm streaming. I just wanted to stream this. More so, it was more so that it's unlikely I'm going to be able to stream tomorrow. So I didn't want to start a new playthrough and then just not do it for 2 days. I wanted to at least get 2 streams in a row on whatever the new thing is. So I wanted to do a one-off, and I realized, oh, Mario items. Oh, also, I just need to play this more because I need to make money for the mortgage. So I figured I'd play this and devote myself to just catching things that go away this month. So there are 4, would be 3 if you don't play Tuesday. Yeah, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. Yeah, that's right. I forgot I took Thursday off. Yeah, so it would have sucked to not to start a new playthrough today. Anyway, there are 4 fish that I haven't caught that you can catch in March. One of them goes away in March. It has been available since December, and I haven't gotten it. It is the Stringfish. It apparently specifically shows up on in the Clifftop River. I guess that means like around waterfalls, maybe specifically, or maybe it specifically means like I have to be on the very tip top. Regardless, I'm gonna go to the top. I'm gonna fish here. It is apparently extremely rare. Its rarity is rated at 5 stars. It's also worth 15,000 bells, so we're gonna be here a while. But I sure am gonna make an attempt. Just gonna fish for a while we chat, I guess. I don't think it's this small. Shoutouts to feeling bad because you have to buy new clothes. Oh no. Hold up. Wait, did the... Ah! Fuck, there was... You saw it, right? The moon, like, appeared. I assume it's always been there, and I just, you know, the horizon existed. But, that freaked me out, and I was like, I should check the sky, and then there were shooting stars, and then there was nothing, and then they disappeared. They'll show up again, I suppose, but, yeah, this is something I need to specifically keep an eye on. The horizon is weird. Animal Crossing horizons are just strange. Hi! No, put the fucking... Did I miss it because I had the fishing rod out? Do I need to not have anything? That would make sense. See, going for fish at the top level is weird just because of all the shit I've done to my river up here. But hello. Animal Crossing. Horizons are weird. Put new in there somewhere. Well, that's not even in line. I feel like it's super hard to see the horizon in water in this game, even though it's supposed to even though it's meant to feel like an island. Yeah, I think I can agree with that. Come on, Stringfish. That's the one, right? Stringfish and Shooting Stars. Sounds like an indie album. I don't know. Or a really shitty autobiography. I think it would have benefited if they ditched the fixed camera. I completely agree on that front. I would really like to be able to move around in this angle, but once you move, it automatically changes the angle back, and it kind of sucks, because I would like to be able to keep a proper eye on the sky right now, considering the shooting stars, but in certain places I really can't. It's not a possibility. And it's weird because in your home you have a completely free camera so that you can look at all your walls. When I don't think that used to be a thing. But yeah, it's strange. Again, really minor thing that adds up to a lot of frustration over time. The Animal Crossing New Horizons experience. Oh, I need to go to Nook Shopping at some point because they added a bunch of Mario items recently, and I don't think I'm going to be able to see a ton of those today. I already put up the mushroom wallpaper, mushroom mural wallpaper on my wall, my living room wall. So that's something. There's my introduction, but you can now purchase like a ton of them. For indefinitely at Nook Shopping. Presumably they'll take like a day to get here, so we won't actually be able to see them today, but they'll be coming. They'll be arriving. The only reason you can't turn the camera right now is because of the rolling pin perspective, which has only been adopted because of Wild World. Really? Like, because it's handheld? Or... Yeah, I knew that wasn't a thing in the first one. Or I know the rolling pin wasn't a thing in the first one. But was it like a... Wild World added the whole sky mechanic. Oh, okay. So you had to... That makes sense. So it was a... I didn't know it was a practical thing in any sense. I assumed that that was just like a stylistic thing, which of course it is, but I hadn't thought about that from a practical standpoint. What if Mario was an Animal Crossing villager? Would you still shoot him in the head? Still. Why do you insinuate that I would shoot Mario in the head? Wild World's on the bottom screen. Oh, that I didn't remember. Interesting. In that case, New Leaf probably utilized the screens a little better. I think I'd much rather just have the inventory available to me at all times from the bottom screen. Wait, you wouldn't shoot Mario in the head? No, because I absolutely would. Why? What grievances do you have with the boy? Come on. Thanks. Wild World takes place on the bottom screen, and then the top screen is mostly useless except for sky events. Yeah, that's a little... Don't love that. There's a lot of, like, early DS games that clearly weren't totally sure how to use the screens. So if they did a non-rolling pin, it wouldn't make sense to see the sky at all times. Right. The land should, you know, extend up to the top screen. Well, that's a neat little bit of Animal Crossing history I did not know. He beat me up once and stole my lunch money. Oh, well, that's an issue. I need to have a stern talk with Mario about that kind of behavior. Rolling pin was inherently a practical choice, and it made sense for what they wanted to do. And then since then, it's just been a stylistic thing. One that I think is unique, and I like the visual of it. That said, it does limit what you can do with the camera. But see, the fixed camera is good actually, because this means that I don't have to care about how my island looks from any angle other than face forward. This is good because it enables my laziness in my island design. Not that it even looks good in the first place, but time to tempt fate. Well, you survived. Good job, Donnie. This is a matter of skill. It's kind of outlived its purpose, seeing as in this game you can literally choose to unrolling pin at any time. Yeah. Like, I say, I like it stylistically. I am almost always in top-down. I very rarely move at this angle. I think this fish I'm looking for is going to be, like, decently large. Rolling pin does have a slight increase, yes. Just a teensy bit. Honestly, my main problem with the camera isn't even, that it's fixed. Or that you only have, like, three angles. I just wish you could move around at this angle. Like, sometimes I'll go, searching for weeds in my fruit orchard. Which is just a bunch of trees shoved together, and it's very hard to see what's, underneath them. So I go into top view, and then I try to grab a thing, and then it moves the thing, and I just have to... It's kind of frustrating. I would like to be able to move around at all three angles. There's really no reason to not allow you to see the sky at all times. Yeah, like... What? You are actively hindering me from doing this. There was a fucking star. Yes! Epic. Now, do you have to do that like a set number of times? Oh. Oh, how does this work? Do you know what shooting stars do? I did once upon a time. But no, not anymore, really. For a while, it was like, oh my god, there's this thing in Animal Crossing that I haven't done before. And then I was like, I need to, like, stay up one night to do that. And then I never did. Just completely forgot. They'll appear on your island shore tomorrow. Oh, okay. Okay. What'd you wish for? The knowledge of what they even do. Can you wish for Mario to die? No. I will not be wishing death on another human being at this time. Limbaw's already gone. There's nothing else. I can't top that. You hear that golden cricket? Is Mario really human? Well, according to Super Mario Odyssey, he's like related to humans or some variant of human, but definitely not like you or me. Come on. Come on. Turn slightly. What was that? Yes! I caught a char! Okay, that's new. That's something. Now there's 3 things I'm going for. I recently was watching a video and the guy was like, in a trolley problem between Ben Shapiro and nothing, you know what lever I'd be pulling. Jar. Jar. I always felt awkward about this little stretch of river that I can hop over. I always wanted to expand it a little, but there was like some specific reason that I didn't want to, and I don't remember it. It's been so long since I bothered like doing any level of terraforming in my island. Now, do the shooting stars happen endlessly? Like, I've wished on 3. Will 3 show up tomorrow, or is it redundant after 1? That one's large. Which one is it? It's a bass. You can get more than one? Okay. Is there a limit? I don't know if there's a hard cap. Okay. I guess I'll just keep doing it as I see them. I have to make up for all the times that I never did this before. Wahoo! Useful in crafting certain recipes. Yeah, that's what I thought they were. They're necessary in crafting Celeste's recipes, right? I think so. Throw Ben Shapiro in the woods for him to die of natural causes or survive as an outdoorsman with no access to the internet. Donnie banned from Twitch moments. Thought about the logical implications of that. It's bad to set it. Hold up, I gotta listen. Reading chat while fishing is hard, because sometimes it'll go down and I just won't hear it. Normally I do it based on sound, not sight. Thought about the logical implications of that. It's bad to set a precedent of killing people you think are causing bad things to happen. I have to say, removing his influence would be a net benefit to society. Harumph. Legally not allowed to weigh in on this right now. You aren't directly killing. But no, you're right. It's not something I'm exactly actively wishing for. Implied but that is now no longer implied. Hi, Celeste. You're very enamored with the stars right now. Okay, I was wondering if her eyes always twinkled and I just never noticed. No, they twinkle when she looks up at the sky. Wake up and press A to make a wish. It's not scientific, but I just know if you make your wish before the star disappears, it will be granted. I saw 2 go by. Oh, also, I think even, like, inputs, any sort of inputs, not just movement, change the camera angle. Like, I would do this, realize I have the ladder out, and then put it away. It would change the camera angle back. I have to change it back again, and by the time I'm done with all that, the thing's gone. It sucks. It's bad. It's not actively a problem, except in very specific circumstances, but those circumstances happen to be everything that's happening tonight. There's a loach. Ben Shapiro's a racist asshat fueled by oil money and net unhappiness. We can all agree with that. That we can. I don't think any of us have said anything that, that we collectively disagree with. We simply can't speak any further. That said, I don't actually know if, like, what is bannable and what isn't. I don't know what actually exists in the TOS on this basic front. Like, are the things that we all said on the Xenoblade stream which was the night that Trump got COVID, like, were any of us bannable for those things if I were a semi-large streamer? I don't know. I have no clue. TOS is fuzzy, I imagine. Like, what rude awakening am I gonna have if my audience somehow explodes one day? Like, oh no, I can't say that it's a good thing that Trump got COVID. I can't joke about how funny it is that the president got COVID. You have to be explicitly strong about the opinion and report it about it. That makes sense. I'd figure as much. That said, I suppose it's better to tread lightly. Or tread not at all. Ah! Okay, let's go grab that. I'll also, while I'm doing that, shove my fish into storage. Except for the char, which I need to, donate. That's the word. Which you can do by hitting the, what was I gonna say? Yeah, I guess it's just been 12 years since I've been to Blathers. Hasn't been that long. I did have some sea creatures that I had to send in the other day. What did I get from here? Ironing set. I presumably have one of these. I don't think Twitch likes having to deal with it, but they're not gonna stop opinion having. This is true. Cool. I can now iron my clothes in the video game. The quote I said here was from a partnered streamer. Yeah. Like my GIF wallpaper? I made that joke already, but that was when no one was here. Is this the one? Char. Hey, tomorrow. Yep, I got that in the typical letter that Nintendo sends out that's like, there's an update. Thanks for downloading it. For downloading a thing from the internet, you get this item for free. I will put this back up, though. I think it's more fitting of the room. It's neat that they give you stuff for free. Oh, yeah, I guess I am objectively making fun of it, but there's no complaint. Can I put it up in my bedroom instead? I just put it into storage. I don't care. I don't matter. Also true, but don't say it. Oh, I can't send the camera low enough to view my epic wall-mounted tool board. Awkwardly sat on that wall. I literally don't care about this room. I don't care about most of my house. It is embarrassing. This is one of the only rooms that looks semi-decent, and even then it's just like, these books are on the floor. Don't mind me. Alright, the reason I came back here in the first place. The reason I'm in here is to grab that fishing rod! The reason I'm in here is because of that fake hedgehog, in case you didn't understand the joke. The funny, iconic Sonic Adventure 2 line. We're gonna go to Nook Shopping. And, see if I can buy, things. So, they added the Mario items as things you can get, a couple days ago. But, today is specifically when they added, Mario items to the store. So that's a bunch of stuff. That's a bunch of stuff. Very cool. Very, very cool. Okay, well, I don't think I'm gonna buy all of this right now. Do they have pipes? What pipes? Yeah. Do you have to buy 2 to make them effective? See, all of these are mostly just like visual stuff you can put around your town. The pipes are actually functioning warp pipes. It's like epic fast travel on your Mario video game. Princess Peach's crown is 12,000. I mean, that does technically make sense that a crown would be more expensive than fabric hats, but sorry, fellas, your Peach costume is going to be a little more expensive. They had Mario stuff because of Bowser's Fury. More just a general Mario anniversary thing. The March is when they're ending their Mario 35th anniversary celebration. There is no Waluigi hat. That is disappointing. There's no Waluigi stuff here. I don't know if there's historically been Waluigi stuff. God, her dress is more expensive too. Why does Nintendo make the wah so elusive? I guess I'll buy what I can. Of course, I care more about the clothes than the things. No shock there. 5 items per day. Okay. That's right. Forgot about that. Which means next time I go there, I'm not going to remember which ones I have and haven't bought yet. It's going to be great. It's going to be wonderful. Just gamer. Anyway, those are mailed to me tomorrow, so we don't get to see... I don't get to actually see them today, unfortunately. Presumably, I'll have a bunch of stuff to show off by the time of the Molly's birthday stream, though, which is next week, the 7th. Wario items, but no Waluigi ones. Fucking Nintendo. Yeah, they don't like him that much. Oh yeah, there's no, like, seasonal event going on right now. Holidays are over, so there's nothing in this corner. Why am I here? I'll check what's here. I was here to sell exactly 1 flower. Yeah, I don't, care? Do believe you've purchased this, alright? Yeah, I think I've bought all the recipe books. Give me my 10 bells for my flower, and then I'm gonna go donate a thing. Oh, and a loach. Sure, take it. Alright. Back to fishing, I suppose. We'll donate the thing to Blathers at some point. Gonna posit that maybe Waluigi isn't as much of a fan favorite character as the others, but no! Now, Waluigi... No, if they were smart, they'd put Waluigi in everything. He's objectively beloved by the community, yes. I'm sorry, did I just jump this corner? Yes. And that wasn't a weird fluke. I am able to recreate this consistently. Why is this entertaining? Hop. Yeah, the jumping in this game is weird. I'm shocked I haven't experienced anything like that until now. It's funny though. It gives me a wee bit of a chuckle. Did I see a balloon overhead? No. I do think he gets a bit of a low rep for no good reason. Yeah, Nintendo just doesn't like using him, it looks like. I do wonder who created him in the first place. Because he first appeared in Mario Tennis, right? I think that was done by Camelot or one of Nintendo's other second-party ones. Like, he generally doesn't appear in first-party titles beyond Mario Kart. It's Mario Kart's first-party, right? Other than that, like, of course we all know him as the spin-off boy, but those spin-offs are generally done by second-party companies. So I do wonder if, like, Nintendo themselves, like, legit only keeps him around, out of spite, and, like, only one of the, like, one or two of the second-party companies likes him, and that's the only reason that they keep him around. Waluigi wasn't even in one of the Mario Karts. Yeah, he was not in, Mario Kart 7. But Queen Bee from Mario Galaxy sure was. One of the wackier Mario Kart reps. Fucking Queen Bee. I'm not even complaining, it's just funny. It's better than Pink Gold Peach and 8 different forms of Mario. Certainly fucking objectively stupid. Created by Camelot employee Fumihide Aoki. Epic. So, yeah, Camelot made him. Interesting. That makes you wonder, yeah, do they just not like him? Because he was created by the second party. Why the fuck was Nintendo so weird with Mario Kart 8? Yeah, they're in Mario Kart 8. Mario Kart 8's great. The roster sucks. All 8 Koopalings? Yeah. I like them. I do think they probably should have been one slot, like in Smash Bros. Then you got Gold Mario, Metal Mario, Gold Mario, Metal Mario, Pink Gold Peach, Tanuki Mario, Cat Peach, Cat Mario, I think. They could do that because there's 2 links and it's fine. Yeah, no, it's not even like an unprecedented thing, or maybe it was at the time. Cause like, got multiple colors of Yoshi and Toads and Shy Guys, and now 2 links. But yeah, at the time, I don't think there were character slots. I think it took them a bit to introduce the idea. 2 links is new to 8 Deluxe. Yes, this is true. Breath of the Wild Link was not in the original. But I do think, weren't the multicolored Toads and Yoshis in the original, or added to it later? I might be wrong about that. Maybe the slots in general is unique to 8 Deluxe. They were in the original, or they were unique to 8 Deluxe? If you got the DLC, okay. The iconic Mario Kart 8 DLC that adds extra characters and extra courses and a free update. Gives you a Mercedes-Benz you can drive. Still one of the funnier things Nintendo's ever done to me. Hi, actual fucking Mercedes in Mario Kart. Why not? Was objectively amazingly priced. Oh, I don't remember how it was priced. I don't know if I ever actually... I know 200cc was DLC, and I don't think I ever bought that. I did eventually get 8 Deluxe, but... So I got all of it. But, cheaper per course than the base game. Well, that's good. Should be the bare minimum, I think, for DLC to add up to not as much as the original game, but that's good. Smash Bros. Yeah. In general, season passes are not a great thing. I mean, I guess they're a good business model, but sure do just suck conceptually. Hello. Monetarily commit to getting all of the content, whether it's good or not, and that's how you get it cheaper. I'm the last person on Earth to say this. We all objectively agree with this, I'm sure, but wowza, season passes suck. I don't buy season passes. The only one I do buy is Smash because they literally have me at gunpoint. I think I got the season pass for Fallout 4. I did not get the fighters passes for Smash. Mostly just because I don't play Smash much anymore. If I did, I'm sure I'd care a little bit more, but I think the only new fighter I do have is Joker, and that's because my brother decided to buy just Joker on a complete whim when he came out. Funny man. Yeah, I was waiting for Donnie to say something about Joker. I do want to try Pyramithra when they come out. I don't know if I will. I might. I feel like it's going to take a big thing for them to get me to buy a fighter, because like none of them really have looked like ones that I'll play as. Like, I'd just be buying them for the sake of having them, and the collector in me would do that, but, I don't care all that much. I get to fight against them. If the stages are neat, I'd buy. But also, the big thing is just, I pull Smash out very much once in a blue moon. I'm realizing some of my criticism of people being disappointed in Smash picks is a little bit unfair, because I'm coming at that from the perspective of someone who hasn't spent any money on the DLC fighters and will simply buy them if they look neat. Nintendo definitely did make a lot of people buy a thing that yes, is cheaper per capita for all the fighters, but is paying money on the assumption that the fighters will be good. Like, you're buying the thing with no knowledge of who the fighters will be. So if you've already spent the money on that fighters pass, yeah, I totally get being a little mad about some of the picks. Like, you've actively spent money on it. I haven't. So while I do think it's to invest yourself too much into like getting actively angry at other people over Smash picks, like that's dumb and generally immature, I would say. I do understand to a certain degree. Yeah, you spent money on a thing that you had no knowledge of the content of. Shitty business model. Good for business, shitty business model. I don't think I've specifically, like, I've never specifically said, I will never buy a season pass, though people are fully justified in it. That said, I've only bought one season pass ever, and it was for the Fallout 4 DLC, and the Fallout 4 DLC kind of sucked. Kinda did burn me a little. Granted, that was one of those that I guess I bought more so based on, like, I'm not going to buy the Fallout 4 Season Pass. Total DLC cost, $60. Yup. Yup, it sucks. Yup, it's bad. Ended up buying all of them. Yeah, how much was the Season Pass initially? I know they later raised the cost. I think Nintendo did that with one of the Fighters Passes, too. Though I might just be confusing that with the fact that they did a second one. Yeah, I think Fallout 4 inevitably, eventually, raised the price of the Season Pass, which is also a thing that sucks. It's like, oh, okay, we asked for this amount of money up front, and if you bought it early on, you will still get all the things for this amount. But you were late. If you're late to the party, well, I'm sorry, we ended up making more. So now you have to pay $50 instead of $30 or whatever it is. Most fighting games do the Season Pass thing now. It's a good way for people who like the game to get content. The problem is not all Season Passes guarantee content. Yeah. And it's just, yeah, it's a... Like, Nintendo at least is better than what Bethesda did with Fallout 4 in that they specifically said what the type of content will be. Like, you buy this, you get 5 fighters out of it. You don't know the fighters yet, which sucks, but... Started as 30, okay. And I think I bought it at 30. You don't know what the content will be, but you at least know it's 5 fighters each with 1 stage. Like, that's pretty upfront. I still don't like the business model, but that's more upfront than I think most Season Passes are. Fallout 4, I think, was just, buy this and you'll get all the DLC. I'm pretty sure I bought it on the assumption that it would be, like, 4 big world spaces, each is their own DLC, because that was exactly the case for, Fallout 3 and Fallout New Vegas. They each had 4 DLCs that were basically their own campaigns. Fallout 4 wasn't that. Fallout 4 had 2 big campaign DLCs, and the rest were largely tiny crafting related ones. And I wasn't into the crafting in Fallout 4. I just didn't really care. So the fact that most of the DLC was centered around that, I didn't like it. Kind of sucked. And I don't think they told us the nature of the DLC. They simply said there would be crafting DLCs. So I guess I was wrong to think, oh, I'll be getting basically the same kind of DLC that we got for the past 2 games. But the past 2 games had 4 World Space campaign DLCs, and then Fallout 4 had 2. And one of them sucked. There was, now, some of the crafting related ones had little quests attached to them that were decently fun. The Automatron DLC added like craftable and upgradable and customizable robots, and it had a little quest attached to it that I thought was pretty neat. I liked the quest a lot more than I engaged with the content of the DLC itself, but you know, that was fun, but I don't know how much it cost, and I would have preferred a big world space DLC, not little tiny quests that are just there to enable big crafting, because I didn't care about the crafting in the game. A couple of my friends did. I really had no interest. Come on. Come on. Fallout 4 having only 2 big DLCs, 2 quest DLCs that had workshop content, and 2 more that just had workshop content. Bad. Very gross. Especially if you buy them without the season pass. That's $60. That's just the fucking game again. Not even now, right? I think the game's $40 now. Granted, there's also like a Game of the Year edition that comes with all of it. I don't know how much that costs. Cam, vibes, my brain, use shovel. Oh, and these? They're pretty much all gonna be fossils, and I have all the fossils. That said, I've been playing this for a year and still don't have the, for almost a year, I never got the, pitfall seed recipe. And I think you need the recipe before they actually start showing up. I think the recipe comes from a balloon. Maybe. I never got it. A ton of people got it very early on. Now, I'd like to see... I'd like to... I have it. I think I got it from Villager. Possibly. That would make sense. Yeah, I'm sure it's not intended to be, like, a rare thing. I've just been unlucky or not talking to people in their homes enough, which is totally fair. There's a lot of stuff that I just haven't done enough that I've been missing out on. I've gotten 2 songs from KK because I never play this on Saturdays. Like, I don't care. Is it something I'm bent up about right now? No, not really. It's something that I'll get to eventually, I guess. I didn't have the intent of, like, 100%ing this in the first year, even though it's certainly possible. There's one big World Space DLC, one added a bunch of smaller workshops around the original map, and you can build house now, which was pretty lackluster. Fully agreed on that front. Like, there was at least the possibility that in adding new workshop stuff, it would open me up to the workshop in Fallout 4. It never did. And I don't think, like, that's because the system was bad or anything. It's just, I'm not totally interested. Just didn't vibe with me that much. Which is totally fine. That said, like, that then lends itself to everyone's big criticism of Fallout 4, which is, oh, you stripped down a ton of the RPG mechanics and made this kind of not really Fallout-y. That kind of sucks, considering that you put all these resources into a crafting, a big settlement crafting system, which has never been in Fallout. You sacrificed Fallout things to add a completely new thing that on its own is, I'm sure, fine, but one of those... It's one of those games that people describe as like, it's a good game, but not a good Fallout game. And a bunch of people just say it's straight up bad. I had a lot of fun with it, but definitely not what I want out of Fallout. Message if you can build... Oh, for Skyrim. Okay. Hate that this at least mostly... applies at least mostly to Fallout 4, though. Yeah. That's right. You were talking about how Skyrim had 3 DLCs. Which, yeah, that kind of sucks. It's fun, but it sucks major ass. Yep. Right there with you. That said, I do get urges very frequently to go back to it. So, yeah. But hey, I guess there's now technically the possibility of Obsidian making another Fallout, because Bethesda and Obsidian are both owned by Microsoft. Wow, cool. I have to find the one bright side of Microsoft buying up a giant AAA company. Of course, you can't trust me because I've played over 3,000 hours of this absolutely garbage piece of shit game that I hate. Yeah. The fucking Steam review meme that's like, 1,300 hours, not recommended. You know, that's me. I have hundreds of hours in that game. Not near that many, of course. But I've got hundreds of hours in it. How many do I have in New Vegas? Not even 1,000 in New Vegas, but I think that's more so. That's not like a judgment on, wow, why have you played so much of this game? It's, I have more games. When you want to play a game, it's like, okay, Fallout or Halo, one of the two, or one of these other like miscellaneous things that I happen to own. For me, it's like, fuck it, 4x4 Evo 2 for the GameCube. I don't know what the game I've played the most is. It's probably Fallout New Vegas, but there's a lot of stuff I played in my childhood that I don't have. I don't want to think about the unrecorded. Yeah, no, that's the thing. Is recorded New Vegas is my most. It's probably like 400 or 500 or something. But Then there's a bunch of childhood games I had that I'm like, I don't know. I don't have a record of how much I've played Super Mario Galaxy, how much I've played Luigi's Mansion. It's not even close to that much, but you know, because it's so short, it's one of those games that it's probably, I think I've said this before, Luigi's Mansion is probably the game I've played all the way through the most times. Fuck it. I'm gonna pull up my Steam while I'm fishing. I want to see my numbers on some games. Where are the numbers? Sunshine has to be the game I finished most because of runs. Yeah. I ran that shit. Yup, that'll do it. I'm not that cool. Oh, not even to mention Sonic Adventure 2, which I played many times as a child. And then I recently bought it on PC, put a ton of time into the Chow Garden, and in the span of a couple months, 145 hours in Sonic Adventure 2. Okay. Fallout New Vegas I have 653 hours in. Fallout 4 is behind it on Steam at least, with 266 hours. Those are mostly because, like, wowza, I discovered mods on those, so sure did play through both games a couple times with various different mod configurations, to the point that my most recent playthrough of New Vegas is oh, I've played it modded so many, oh, fuck, I was speaking, with my luck, that was probably the thing, to the point that my most recent playthrough of New Vegas is, oh, I've played this modded so many times, I forgot what it's like to play this mostly vanilla. Let's remove almost all the mods that I traditionally use and do a mostly vanilla playthrough of New Vegas. Because we're at the point that that's unique for me. Fourth is Knights of the Old Republic, apparently. First is New Vegas. Fourth is, second's Fallout 4. Second is... I'm looking at the numbers on the games. Oh, God. I called Fallout 4 fourth because it's Fallout 4. Skyrim and New Vegas are pretty scattered for me, but I'm going to check the numbers. That's right. You have things on 2 different accounts, right? 200 in Fallout 3. Fallout New Vegas is first. Fallout 4 is second. Sonic Adventure 2 is third. See, the difference there is New Vegas is over the course of several years. I first played that in, like, 2015. Sonic Adventure 2, that's the PC version, which I bought in October. So those 145 hours are, like, over the course of 2 months. Last year. And then Knights of the Old Republic is fourth at 88 hours. Doom is fifth at 62. And that's as far as I'm gonna go on that list. But yeah, it's hard to guess how much I've truly played the most. It's probably still New Vegas, but, like, I play on console far more than I play PC, so. Like, if I'm going to play a PC game, usually New Vegas just is my go-to. Fortunately, 200 on Fallout 3. I don't know how much I ended up having in Fallout 3 because the first time I played it, it was on a very legit copy of the game. So I don't have that saved in Steam. I have since then bought it and haven't played it. Haven't played that copy of it. 14 hours in Among Us, baby! Where am I? Probably like, I mean, probably the same. Have you played it at all outside of our communal games? Because I sure haven't. So we probably have identical game times. But sure, let's check recently played. 14.9 hours in Among Us. Yeah. Nope. So we've played it exactly the same amount. I have 90 in Among Us. Yeah, that's a game I would put a ton into. If, you know, I were more... If public games sounded near as fun as private games, I guess. Like, I don't know, I just suddenly completely lose interest in the game with the idea of being in a room where we're just yelling at each other over text as opposed to on mic. $500 Tabletop Simulator, 90 in Among Us, 350 in Baba Is You, where most of that was AFK thinking. Solid. I was about to ask how in God's name I have 100 hours in Classic Fallout, but I forgot you had a file on that. Oh yeah, I did play Classic Fallout at your house a bit. That's right. Now, I don't know how much I played at your house, but now I'm curious how much I have in the Classic Fallouts. I've played Fallout 1 all the way through only once, but started playthroughs a bunch of times. Okay, apparently my copy... Oh, wait. I think my copy was also totally legitimate when I first played Fallout 1, so my legal copy of Fallout 1 is 4 hours. Which isn't accurate at all, because Fallout 2 I've only played through once and have 36 hours in. Sometime, I think very, very soon, I'm going to, I think I want to stream a playthrough of the first Fallout. I think it'd be fun to work my way through the series on stream. Do a Fallout 1 playthrough, then a 2, and so on. That said, past 2, streaming those would take many hundreds of hours, probably. So while I still want to do them, it'll, you know, it'll be more along the lines of, like, my Breath of the Wild and Knights of the Old Republic and Xenoblade playthroughs, where it's just, like, one game for months. Or where I'd have to take breaks from the game for a bit. Whereas Fallout 1, I think it's short enough that I can just dedicate like 2 or 3 weeks to it. That said, if I intend to do that, I gotta figure out what kind of character I'm gonna play. Because I don't want it to be identical to my first playthrough. I think I just said Fallout 3 when I meant Fallout 1. I don't know. What was I gonna say? Fallout 1 I'm kind of intimidated to stream, though, because the classic Fallouts are fucking brutal in their combat. So, both of my, maybe you should consider doing Monday, Tuesday as one thing and Friday, Saturday as something else. I have considered it. Right, and once I start like a really, really long playthrough, I think I'm gonna do that. Right now, what I'm more so leaning toward, and I don't know when I'll implement this, or if, because lately I've mainly just been doing one game at a time, as more of a casual thing. But right now, what I'm leaning toward is like Monday, Tuesday, and Friday are one like main playthrough, and then Saturday's like just some variety one-off thing, like. Monday, Tuesday, Friday, I'm playing Fallout or whatever, and then Saturday I do an Animal Crossing one-off, a Super Mario Bros. 35 thing, just some random bit of shovelware I happen to own. I think that'd be fun. Saturdays are for the fellas. Mario 35 is going away soon. Yeah, I intend to stream that at least one more time. Possibly on the day it goes away. It sucks. Really sucks. Why the fuck is that game going away? Great question. I really was hoping that they would reverse that decision by some point. I was cautiously optimistic, not expecting it, but hoping. And so far there's been nothing in sight. Same for Mario 3D All-Stars, which my expectation was, okay, maybe they'll stop selling maybe they'll stop selling physical copies and then make it digital only or something, or demand will be high enough that they, like, take away the expiration date or something. But no, doesn't seem to be anything on that front either. But at least with that, as shitty as the business of that is, at least with that, you could maybe hope for, maybe hope for those ports to be released individually as something else later on, if there's any hope of that. But, yeah, it sucks. It's bad. Like, one of their worst moves in a long time. Bad company. Thought it would be a fun game to watch. I think it would. I think it's been a bit since I have done an RPG where like the character was of my creation, and I got to do epic like customized stats for them. I think the last time was Kodor, so I think that'd be fun. Thomas just sent me into a midlife crisis. Why did Thomas send you into a midlife crisis? It might actually get me to keep playing it. That's also fair. It's a rough game to get into these days, that's for sure. It took me a long time to properly adjust to it. Eventually I did, and I love it now. But what was I gonna say? I was gonna say something about Thomas, out of context, shut your gay ass up. I'm giving you money. Thank you. Thank you. Not going into detail because it involves some personal friend group shit. Oh, okay. Specifically ages. What was I gonna say? Rock, very cool. I thought maybe they'd say, oh, it's going away, so people will at least play it a bit, then see the traffic and extend it. Yeah, I was thinking in the case of Mario 3D All-Stars specifically, that it was almost inevitable they would release the expiration date on it, and that it was like a shitty business move to get people to buy it up as soon as possible, and then they're like, oh, okay, you can keep buying it. Is a way to force people like me to pre-order it, because I was expecting, okay, it has an expiration date. That's gonna go out really quickly, and then people are gonna scalp it. I'm going to pre-order it, which is something I never do. I've never pre-ordered a game. The only time I have is Mario 3D All-Stars. Expecting it to get bought up very quickly and be hard to find. I think it was for a bit, but, you know, realistically, I suppose I could have just waited until, say, March, or later in the thing, because it was a 6-month period. Eventually, it would be pretty decently stocked. But, anyway, I was expecting it was a business move, or my conspiracy was that it was a business move to get people to buy as much as possible very early on, and then they'd take the expiration date off, and it would just be a normal Switch game. No, that doesn't seem to be the case. At least they haven't said anything. Like, on March 1st, they're going to be like, surprise, we're not a terrible company. We're a marginally bad company who lied about an expiration date. Not necessarily lied. Changed our minds on our very stupid decision that we made from the beginning. Personal as in someone else's personal information, not private. That makes sense. That makes sense. It'd be nice for them to release them separately and then also do Galaxy 2. I agree. I imagine it'd be one of those situations where if they were to release them separately, it'd be more than the All-Stars package. So, you know, I'm not... would they? I don't know. It's a very hard sell to release, like, Super Mario 64 on its own for $20 instead of $10. I don't know, maybe Sunshine 20, 64, 10, Galaxy 30. Which would still be bad, because Galaxy has historically been sold for 20 on the, Wii U eShop. But yes, I would like Galaxy 2. That'd sure be cool. That should be epic. That would probably be a day one purchase for me against my better judgment. That's the thing, and I've said this a bunch of times, is that, like, I can yell all I want about their business practices being absolute shit. I'm the exact person that they work on. I'm the exact kind of person that they keep doing it for, because they know people like me will eat it up. Like, Galaxy 1 is really good portulation. So, yeah, port and emulation. So, like, I'd get Galaxy 2. Yeah, absolutely. Granted, I suppose a slightly higher price than the Wii U one wouldn't be terrible, because the Wii U one was just a straight Wii port, like at 480. But like, you know, I was the kind of person whose gut response to the Skyward Sword HD announcement was, hell yeah! Oh, like I had to stop myself. I was like, yeah, that's a $60 Wii game. That's not a good thing. Why are you cheering about this? It's not a good thing. It's not. Will I buy it? Yes. Will it be day one? No. Will it be at full price? Pretty likely. Like, I'm excited that it's going to be on Switch. It is still a $60 Wii game. Like, if it was 30, I would have considered it. 60 is just awful. Yeah, especially because at least from the little bits we've seen, it doesn't look like it's changing a whole lot. It looks like it's changing, it's adding non-motion controls, which is good, but like that's not really much of an enhanced port. I've said this before. Twilight Princess HD and Wind Waker HD were like dramatic graphical remasters. Like, it was graphically, it was rebuilt from the ground up. And seemingly in Twilight Princess HD and Wind Waker HD, like everything was retextured, lighting was redone. It was great. Wind Waker HD looks it looks real fucking good. It's a beautiful game. Skyward Sword HD just looks like an upscale. I would not even call that Skyward Sword HD. Like, if you add HD to the title, I'm looking for some graphical upgrades. It really didn't look like there were any graphical upgrades in that trailer. I'm gonna give it a little bit of time to see if anything changes on that before I say anything definitively, but it sure does look like a $60 upscale. Like, 3D All-Stars was bad enough, but, like, can you imagine if they sold just Super Mario Galaxy for $60? The version of Galaxy from the All-Stars pack for $60? Like, that'd be bad. That'd be bad. Why are they doing that for Zelda? It's bad. That said, golly, I sure am excited to play The Legend of Zelda Skyward Sword on Switch. That sure is cool. I am the reason they're able to keep doing this. Hostage-ing the good controls behind a full-priced upscale. Yeah. Yup. Like, everyone complained about 3D All-Stars when it came out. Wow, that Skyward Sword port makes 3D All-Stars look like a steal. Like, they're just giving it to us. 3D All-Stars was still, like, bad. But, was, like, bad for $60. But, wowza. Really making that look good. It's really frustrating. And like, I don't know the solution, because like people rightly boycott decisions like this, but you know, people argue about the morality and effectiveness of boycotts all the time, and like in general, I don't think my dollar is gonna specifically do anything, and if I am willing to spend that much money on a thing, like on an impulse thing, does it affect much in the long run? Argue if you want about that. Same shit why I don't have the Breath of the Wild DLC, because I'm not spending money on a difficulty mode. Was Master Mode its own DLC? I just bought the... Was it a season pass sort of thing? Did I buy a season pass for Breath of the Wild? I don't remember how they did it. I think it was like 2 different DLC packs with a bunch of different things. Master Mode was part of DLC 1. Okay. So yeah, there was Master Mode was a difficulty mode that was packed into a DLC. There was more to it, and I don't feel bad for buying that DLC. I think I ultimately like am glad that I purchased it, but also I didn't play the game before having all the DLC, so I might have felt differently if it was more so like it was just a given I was gonna buy all the DLC whenever I bought the original game or whenever I decided to do a full playthrough of it. If I had played through the game vanilla, probably would have felt differently about certain aspects of the DLC. It was 2 DLCs, only one was worth it. Champion's Ballad. Yeah, that sounds right. Your island looks so nice and not swamped by weeds. Thanks. Hi, Gremlin. How you doing? But I refuse to allow that. It disgusts me. Yeah, no, that's totally fair. That's totally fair. I don't blame you one bit. Like, anytime someone's like, I refuse to buy for this reason, like, I'm with you there in spirit. I impulse buy shit a lot. And don't treat my wallet the way I should. So, usually, there's not a lot that I will make purchases a moral decision, but I'm with you. Yeah, Fallout 4 survival mode is pretty good. And yes, it was free. Like, it is fucking bullshit that they sold that on its own. To me, it was more of like, just, like, for me, it's hard to separate the DLC from, it's hard to separate the DLC from the main game because I never really did a legit playthrough of vanilla. So I just treat it as if it's part of the game, even though it's clear that, oh, this Majora's Mask item, yeah, that's DLC. But yeah, I kind of forgot Master Mode was DLC. And that is bullshit. I completely agree there. Most of the time, boycotts don't work because, well, yes. Yeah, I know the reasons. People boycotting other minority. People who say they would boycott don't. Yeah, it takes a legit, like, big organized effort. Whereas whenever people say, we should boycott this, like, they don't put anything into organizing that. They just don't purchase personally. And, like, yeah, you can make that personal decision. Again, completely agree with you there on a moral level. But if it's I want Skyward Sword HD. My personal decision whether or not to buy it won't affect anything without legitimate organization. So, I'll probably buy Skyward Sword HD. And, like, people's opinions differ on that, and I would not like to get into a debate on, like, boycotts and efficacy and the morality of my decision to purchase things. I wouldn't like to do that right now. That said, yeah, that's why, there's rarely any real organization on that front. It's mostly just people saying, I won't do this. And you are correct in terms of your own morality to do that. And the business practice is shit. But I'm an idiot is what it all comes down to. I'm pretty good at not buying things because I am poor. Also fair. Pretty good at not buying things where I don't like their practices. Very fair. I'm just generally not the kind of, and like this is totally like, when I say anything on this subject, take it as, oh, I'm just justifying my own practices because I don't want to choose not to buy a thing if it's a thing I want. Like, it's entirely just rationalizing my own awfulness. It's not entirely true, but listen, I gotta self-deprecate where I can. But like, what was I gonna say? I think I was just gonna repeat myself in that my individual purchase doesn't affect anything. If there was legit organization, I don't want to say I would boycott when I don't, but one of those things. Like, ultimately, if it's a thing I would purchase otherwise, if it's not if it were handled differently, it's unlikely, except for very specific circumstances, that I'll specifically make the decision not to purchase something out of moral reasons, because really that's just denying myself one specific thing for something that will not have a material effect on the company's bottom line. Like, fuck Disney. I hate Disney. My family's subscribed to Disney Plus because, like, if I'm not, wowza, one person denied themselves Star Wars. We did it. We toppled Disney. Organized effort to do a legitimate boycott? Okay, cancel that subscription immediately. But otherwise, it's like, okay, this is just a personal moral thing, and I support someone making that personal moral decision, but ultimately, like, materially, what does that do? I don't think I'm making a difference, but I personally feel better with this agency. Yeah, no, I don't take any of this as, like, criticism of you or anyone who specifically personally boycotts a thing. Absolutely not. I am in full support right there. I have plenty of other things to do. I don't really miss out on anything I truly want. Yeah, that's fair. That's fair. It just sucks that, like, oh, otherwise like, this is a game I really want. I would adore to be able to play it in HD on Switch. And will do so eventually. Again, I have said it's not like a thing I'm super excited for to the point of buying like day one. And if I can find one used, hell yeah, I'll get it for $30 without giving Nintendo money. That's the ideal. But then you have something like Disney Plus where it's like, oh, this company's shit, and I'd really rather just never give Disney money if possible. But like, I'm denying myself Star Wars to do that. Like, listen, buddy, I like Star Wars. Like, the deeper you get into into that debate, and like people have had this debate over and over, the deeper you get into that debate, the more it just comes down to, I don't want to deny myself personal pleasure. And that's like, that just, when you say it like that, it sounds like a shitty excuse. But at the same time, it's like, well, boycotts are so hard to sustain, and when people say, I'm going to boycott this, they mean a personal decision, largely. It's very rare that there's like sustained organized boycotts. Like, I won't buy from Amazon if there's a strike going on. Like, that's a thing. I won't cross the picket line on things like that. And if there's a legit like Nintendo or Disney boycott or something like that, like, cool, I won't. Very neat. And I'll see what I can do to help with that organization. But otherwise, it's just a personal thing, which I think is fair. Anyway, I guess enough about that, unless people have more things for that. What have I missed? Why is it not scrolling? Okay. I haven't bought any games on anything but Steam because I don't agree with splitting a library over multiple publisher-specific digital platforms. Didn't buy anything EA for literal years until recently with Titanfall 2 on Steam. Very epic. I mean, there's the other thing is, like, it's rare that, like, if it's a company I don't already, like, support, like Nintendo or Disney, and I know they have shitty business practices, of course it's a lot easier for me to be like, I'm not gonna buy from them. Like, I don't know if I bought from EA? Certainly not knowingly. Granted, it's also just rare that I see anything from EA that's like, oh, I'm going to purchase that. But, you know, of course it's easy when you... It's a lot easier for me personally to, like, make that sort of decision if I don't already have an attachment to the company. And then with Nintendo, it's like, well, I'm not denying myself Zelda. That's Zelda, man. Worst thing ever is when you buy a game on Steam, they make you download a separate launcher. Looking at you, Ubisoft, you fucking you slimy fucks. Yeah, I agree with that. There's an actual organization, feel slightly bad about buying it since I'm not a single person. I can't change much. Justifications, I have plenty of other things to do. I don't really miss out on anything I truly want. It's like, I got 3D All-Stars even though it's shitty because I love those games. I'm willing to get those 3 for that price. Sunshine especially because, to play it originally on actual hardware, it's like 80. Like, Sunshine's legit a steal on 3D All-Stars. Now, they're the company that made them and that made the game, and I don't think it's a good move to price that based on like market value whenever like a virtual console GameCube game would probably be like $15 to $20. But you know, Sunshine's a fucking steal. Even if it was $60 for just Sunshine, that would probably be a steal. I don't give Disney money. Fair. Honestly, I'm best with TV/movies because I leech Amazon Prime, Netflix off parents, and then pirate everything else. Very fair. Also, I don't pay for subscription services myself. I leech off my parents. Now, actually, that's a good question. Would I have Disney Plus if it weren't for the fact that I have it free through parents, and like there's really no universe in the near future where I wouldn't have it for free through parents? I don't know. If I were not to have it, it would be entirely for financial reasons, not like a moral thing. Hi, Gulliver. But this is a curious question because I leech. Recently got off all my subscriptions for entirely moral reasons and not because I couldn't afford it. I wish I had buying power. Like, I don't know, would I pay for Spotify Premium if my parents already didn't? Because Spotify's shit and doesn't pay their employees, or pay artists well? Pay their employees. Tool working directly for Spotify. Doesn't pay artists well? I mean, I suppose I'd much prefer to, like, buy the albums to support them that way. Pirate sounds, etc. I forget, is there any, like, practical difference, tangible difference between Gulliver and Gulliver? Why am I dressed like this? Wouldn't have Netflix without parents. I absolutely wouldn't have Netflix without parents. I mean, that's mostly because Netflix is shit now. See, that's a go into a whole thing about the streaming industry. Once Disney got their shit out of there, for me, Netflix largely just became garbage. So many places have been pulling everything out of Netflix and just leaving it like a rotting corpse. I be a bird. Apologies for not reading this dialogue. I mean, I've seen it before. I think we've seen it. Usually buy an album physically if I really like the album. Like, I listened to this album for free so much already, so here's some money as consolation. I'm with you there too. It's both that and just I like collecting physical things, whether I use them or not. Like, I have 2 vinyl copies of Act 2, The Father of Death by the Proto-Men, because wowza, that's a good fucking album. And I listen to them on Spotify all the time. So yes, here's money, here's tangible support. I don't buy digital. Yeah, I don't think I would buy digital. Spotify, I'd either just deal with the ads or listen on YouTube. I don't. But yeah, in general, if I really like the album, I will like go out of my way to support the artist directly. Still need to buy multiple Pussifer albums though. That said, it's not a thing I do all the time, largely because in terms of in terms of collection, I like to have the records, because see, I'm one of those absolute gamers who has a bunch of records but no player, because I know I probably wouldn't even use it if I did. It is entirely just for the sake of having the thing physically. It's literally just, hey, I like this, let me physically show it with an object. So in that regard, CDs and vinyl are kind of the same for me, because like I've got CDs too and I don't listen to them. That's just, you know, the typical consequence of streaming is like, who the fuck listens to physical media anymore? But also most people who like have a big record collection, I feel like to listen to them on record. It's like I don't really care. Once upon a time, I was like, man, I intend to get a record. I intend to get a record player sometime because that'd be super cool. And like, I still do, but it's absolutely not a priority. Like, I own Proto-Men albums on vinyl to support the artist and to show that I like the Proto-Men with a physical object. If I want to listen to the album, I'll pull it up on Spotify. That said, records are just neat, because, wow, data is physical. Isn't that wacky? Isn't it wacky that a thing just moving up and down in some grooves can make some fucking noise? Wow, data's physical. That's weird. Guess who both listens on YouTube and deals with Spotify ads? Yeah. I don't have Disney Plus because of my obsession with owning things physically, so I have all the movies I like. Very nice. I'm movies and TV shows are like the one thing I'm not that way with, and it's mostly games that I am that way with. Like, it's very rare that I will voluntarily that I'll buy a game digitally if it has a physical release, or unless it's a PC game. If it has a physical release, I'll almost always go with the physical. But that's not just because wacky collector, wowza, but also just because, like, I feel like with games specifically, it seems like archiving them, preserving them is just not a thing that's focused on as much as with music and movies. So, like, you know, you can release an album and it'll be in a bunch of people's hands and available through many different ways. But then there's stuff like, was it the Scott Pilgrim game that was only available digitally and then was, like, taken off of stores and you couldn't get it for years and years and years without piracy? Like, that sucks. That shit sucks. I would really like to have the game physically for reasons like that. Fucking hate Spotify. It doesn't embed right in Discord, so it drives me right up the fucking wall. Played Scott Pilgrim on PS3. When did that release? I know they just released it, re-released it recently, and that was like a big thing, both for preservation's sake and just because funny re-release. And I think it was the first time it got a physical release. Like, they did a physical release on this one, 2012, something like that. There's a tie-in with the movie. That makes sense. Still have an APC poster I haven't hung up because I want a frame for it. I don't have any Perfect Circle posters, and it makes me sad. I think I've said this before. One of my regrets is that I bought a t-shirt at the Perfect Circle concert I went to, and not a poster. I broke my streak of buying posters at every concert I'd been to, and makes me sad. One day I'll find an eBay listing of someone trying to get rid of their poster from that concert specifically. Favorite physical versions, the Tool Fear Inoculum art book with the CD and a sleeve in one of the pages. All around neat shit. That's the one that was like $40, right? Oh no, that's different, right? There was the one that like played video that had a USB port on it. That was the $40 one, right? That's not the one you have, I don't think. That concert did have a really cool poster. Have I missed anything? Yeah, movies, I do have some physical movies, but it's not a thing that I specifically go out to collect. I would like to own, like, some of my favorite movies physically, but I'm not gonna... In general, I don't go out of my way for that sort of thing. That said, I have just kind of randomly... Like the movie collection I do have, almost none of it was, like, specifically purchased. It's just shit that fell into my lap. Like, wowza, I sure do have a Blu-ray of, Spider-Man Homecoming. I sure do have a DVD of The Shawshank Redemption. I sure do have a DVD of a random Johnny Cash biopic that I haven't, that I've never seen before, nor really have any interest in seeing. But I have it, and I don't get rid of things very often, so... I love Shawshank Redemption. It's been a long time since I've seen it. Saw it, I think, 3 years ago at this point, and I remember really liking it, but, I should see that again. That's not the one I have, but the one I bought was $45. Can you tell I've made financial mistakes in the past? I have a bunch of posters, but their edges are frayed, so I don't feel like putting them up. That's fair. That's fair. I've never framed any of my posters, and I feel like I should. Yeah, these are all up with sticky tack and all of them have fallen at least once. Some of them have fallen far more times than that, and I would like to frame them, but I also would not like to spend the money to frame them. There's certain, like... This is the difference between, like, spending money to take care of the things you have or spending money to get more things. And, like, with concert posters, it's just, you know, I like having these. Not as expensive as it sounds. I haven't actually looked into it, but I don't imagine it's that expensive. It's also just a thing I don't feel like putting the energy into. Eventually, I'll do it. It's one of those things that I fully intend to do one day, but, like to tell me, okay, go find a frame for this, see how much it'd all cost to frame these 4 posters you have, and I'm like, I don't want to do that. But you're gonna do it one day. Why don't you make it this day? I don't want to. Sooner rather than later, TBH. Oh yeah, before they get all destructified. But is there anything that's actively like in danger? I mean, no. What was I gonna say? What was I gonna say? I guess speaking of spending money, and making financial mistakes, I was looking for a bunch of, I watched a ton of, eBay listings for models of the original 3DS, so that I could have it shipped in and, outfitted with a capture board. As I kind of discussed in the last Ocarina Randomizer stream, I intend over the next like month or so to buy a 3DS, which I did, and then have it modified to be able to capture footage. Anyway, yeah, I spent about 100 on just the 3DS, which sucks because if it was just the 3DS, I was looking to get it around like 80 to 90. And I had let a ton of things go, let a ton of other listings go by that were like the 3DS and some games that I let go for 100, and I ended up buying just the 3DS for 100 after missing a ton of listings that had more. So that sucked. I guess if I waited like a day or so, I probably could have found another one that was like, oh, this and 3 random games. Okay, spend 100 on that, sure. No, it was just the 3DS. RIP. Not too bent up about it, but because it wasn't looking like I was gonna get one for 80. Price charting site said that, oh, the original Model 3DS, that's about 80. That is fucking a lie. That was a fucking lie. Everything went for 100 at least. And I was specifically looking for an original Model 3DS because that's the only one that, at least from this guy who modifies it, the only one that you can get outfitted, because apparently the video signal is handled differently on the original 3DS versus all the later models, which is kind of interesting. My new 3DS has a story. They released a new 3DS in Australia months before the UK, so a website was like, yeah, we're doing imports. And I guess region locking wouldn't be a problem there. Hell yeah. Oh, that was a fun thing, is that I kept seeing like ones that were cheap, I kept seeing much cheaper 3DSs or ones that were around 80, which is what I wanted to pay, and they were all Japanese ones because everything seems cheaper in Japan, in US dollars at least. Japanese games are cheap as hell. Got it from that, then it has a problem, so I had to order a second one and send the broken one back. Oh no! And did this, like, all cost a bunch extra? Did you get, like, proper refunds and everything? Become Japanese. Yeah, I currently have, honestly, the only reason I went out of my way to buy another original 3DS, I have one, like, from launch, that my mom, like, went to the store while I was at school, and like I saved up money for it, but went to the store while I was at school and bought one for me, so they'd be waiting for me when I got home. And oh my god! So I have a lot of specific attachment to that one. It's still in pretty good condition, and if it weren't for that sentimentality, I would have just sent that one in and captured from there. But I don't know, I'm too sentimental to have my original 3DS modified with a big old capture board on it. So instead I was like, yeah, I'm gonna spend an extra 100 on another 3DS. Financially not the smartest thing. Fuck it, you know, I'm a collector. I'm gonna have some attachment to some of my things. Where's this balloon? Sold my OG 3DS XL to my cousin or something like that. It's been a long time. Solid. Sorry, is it down here? Got a refund for the broken one. Okay, very good. Oh, there it is. Either way, I still have that 3DS XL. It's all modded and stuff. Hell yeah. Yeah, I used my OG 3DS for a very long time. Like that was my 3DS until last year. And then speaking of buying an original 3DS for $100, my mom on Facebook Marketplace found a new 3DS XL for $50. And that's what I use now. But I wasn't lucky enough to find anything like that for an OG one. So, you know, the one I use now, the definitive like version of the 3DS, got for much lower than what I should have gotten it for. Purely a Picross device for literally years. Very nice. So yeah, my new 3DS XL is what I use now, and that 3DS hasn't seen use in like a year. But still, it saw like 10 years of use. So like that's not nothing. And I'm just I don't know, I'm a little I was hesitant to have that modified. Especially just because I know it's got 10 years of mileage on it. I suppose any 3DS I bought could potentially have 10 years of mileage on it, but I don't want to, like, I have kept it in decently good condition, but, like, computers break, computers go out, so, like, what if I got that capture board and then the very next week my original 3DS, like, went out? That would suck. I wouldn't like that. Come on. Look at me. Need to convert my 3DS from A9LH to B9S at some point. I don't know what that means. I'm not gonna say, I don't actually know what that means, as if that's like super, super common knowledge. Is that like a region thing, or? Suppose not. ARM9 loader hacks. Oh, is it a homebrew thing? Boot 9 strap. See, I still don't know what these things mean, but at least I know the ballpark, I think, now. I never homebrewed my 3DS. I'm not opposed to it or anything, I just never did. My brother definitely did. And immediately started pirating a ton of, full retail, 3DS games. It's got the Luigi's Mansion remake, the Bowser's Inside Story remake. He mostly got remakes, actually, which is kind of funny. I mean, I guess it's stuff we already own, technically, so... So if you're really a stickler about piracy, I don't think any of us are. Well, we already own Bowser's Inside Story, so it's not that big of a deal. Ways for you to homebrew the devices and methods of doing it. A9LH was the thing we did for a while, then the B9S was a newer thing with more stability / freedom. How active is the 3DS homebrew community still? Like, are there still advances being made, or has it been long enough since it's stopped that it's essentially, like, kind of stabilized the way the Wii homebrew definitely has? I think it's still active. Very neat. Actually, I just got hired as an anti-piracy agent for the FBI. I'm locking all of you up. Good fucking luck! Yes, please tell me about the char. Wonderful, I would love nothing more. The char is one of the bigger fish around, and in the world of fish, that's quite an accomplishment. They are territorial predators and therefore must constantly defend their turf from others. When you see a large char like this one, it's likely a skilled fighter and veteran of many battles. My feathers, I hope it never has cause to go to battle with me. And there you have it. Fascinating stuff, no? Video games. Ugh. Wasn't that funny? I saw a point where my mic audio just went full red, and I think that was I think I collided with my dad's safe. My dad has a big ass fucking safe in this room. My space is only half mine. Water heater, giant safe, giant cabinet that we're not moving out anytime soon. A bunch of like framed photos on top of this thing. Shelves that I would rather not be on the walls but are screwed into the walls. Anyway, I donated the char. Did I miss anything? Like, actually? No, I don't think so. You'll never take me alive! Mainly because I'm British and you're an American. You and thieves, won't somebody think of the multi-billion dollar corporations? I really was about to go for million billion. Where are we? 213. Hand flute. I think I have this recipe. Okay. Oh, the water heater's on. Very cool. Very cool. It's probably not audible, but very cool. Over the past 2 days, I also read 1,000 webcomic pages. Epic. I never really read webcomics. I mean, I never really read comics in general, but at some point I want to get into the current IDW Sonic comic series, and that would legit be like the first comic series I get into. The closest that I have is that I own two collection books of Calvin and Hobbes strips that I don't know how fell into my lap when I was a kid, and I adore them. Yeah, that's that. Questionable content releases 5 pages a week. I was not caught up, so I caught up. Very nice. Hadn't caught up for literal years. Yeah, that'll do it. Do I still have no? Do I still have I did not mean to go up that. I meant to go back down and outside of my home. Godfather left my family a fuck ton of super gross old comics. The only actual comic book I've read was the comic book adaptation of Total Recall. Hell yeah. Like, if someone dumped a giant pile of comics on my doorstep, I would totally look through it and see what is neat and what I should keep, like, even for just collector's sake, but never been a comic person. And, like, I guess for me to keep them for collector's sake without any intention of actually reading them, that's probably a bad thing to do, and you should probably give them to someone who does care about them. Unless it's the Sonic Archie comics, which I know are trash and would keep all of anyway. Like, listen, I have no intention of reading all of these Sonic Archie comics, but God, if I don't want to own a copy of the comic that compares Knuckles' ancestors to Nazis, right down to bastardizing actual World War II era poems to be about hedgehogs and echidnas. You're telling me you don't want to own a physical copy of that? Love questionable content, though. Very cool and progressive. I don't think I've heard of that. At the same time, I feel like I have. I probably haven't. That said, I think I've mentioned the Sonic Archie comics a lot recently. I've been reading this Tumblr blog lately called Thanks Ken Penders, that is just like a read-through of all the Sonic Archie comics and the authors' thoughts on them and summaries of them, and it's a very neat blog and a very neat way to, you know, for me to experience that garbage without having to actually experience that garbage. That said, I would love to own like an Archie Sonic collection. I'm arguing with Thomas over writing an essay due at midnight tonight. He keeps procrastinating and not wanting to do it. You're having to be his dad. Very epic. And he's getting mad at me for having the take of, do your work. Been around since 2003. There are over 4,400 pages. Epic. Not legit mad. Yeah, I wouldn't think so. I would hope not. Listen, I just don't understand why you have my best interests in mind. I really would like this fish to spawn one day. Just a thing I'd enjoy. Learned about it 2017. Yeah, it was a lot to read, I'm sure. What was I gonna say? I don't know. I said I want to get into the IDW Sonic comics, but I'm also an idiot who would... It'd be so easy to just, like, buy up a bunch of them digitally, but, for cheap. But I don't know how much, the physical issues go for, or if there's a subscription service with them, or if I have to buy them each individually. I have no idea how any of that works, but I know... I know I'd much rather have the comics physically and, like, keep them on a shelf, because that'd just be really cool. Because that would take a modicum of extra effort over buying them all digitally, I simply just never get into this comic that I wish to read at some point. I have this weird thing where, like, every single, basically every form of media, to experience it for the first time, except for video games, feels like a chore to me. Does anyone else get anything like that? Like, I very rarely watch movies unless someone else specifically pushes me to watch something with them. The only reason I was able to get through Star Wars Rebels recently is because, my brother watched it with me. I just started, don't tell Jake, I just started Breaking Bad and have watched the first 2 episodes only because my brother agreed to watch them with me. Otherwise, there's no way I'm gonna get through that. Rarely actively watch things. Yeah, I think it's, like, this might be me, like, self-diagnosing too much or whatever, but, video games are, I saw, like, this big blurb about ADHD, and, like, one of the things was, why are you so unproductive when you spend all your time playing video games, or something like that. It was, like, someone doing a criticism and then, like, the ADHD response to that, and, the response was, video games are a very easy way to feel productive when you're not actually accomplishing anything, and, like, something clicked for me there, like, oh, that's why this all appeals to me. But I never watch television, because being asked to watch television is being asked to sit for an hour feeling like and knowing that I'm doing absolutely nothing. When I play something like this, even if I know I'm not actually doing something, wowza, it sure does feel like I'm accomplishing something because I'm in control. Like, wow, that makes a ton of sense. Am I self-diagnosing a little hard? Given that I haven't actually been diagnosed with ADHD? Maybe. But wowza, that would explain a lot at least. It's in my family. It's not like just, oh, I think I have this thing that I have no reason to think I have beyond self-diagnosis. No, there are people in my family, at least 2, who do have it. So it would make sense for me to have it. But I mentioned this a couple times, and mostly during Animal Crossing, I've noticed. only seem to watch anime with other people nowadays. I have a book I really want to read, but reading, yeah, no, I can't fucking read. I just can't. I can't. I can't read without a specific, like, reading schedule. Like, whenever I'm, like in school, whenever I'm asked, read 20 pages by this day, I'll have the 20 pages done, like, no problem. But when it's, have the book finished by this day, of course I'm gonna procrastinate that. I don't think that's a unique thing to me or anything, but, like, I have to read this biography on Sam Houston, and I've been supposed to be reading it over the past, like, 2 weeks, and I have to have it read by the end of this week. I started it 2 days ago. And I've set out a reading schedule for myself, and I'm still not meeting it. Because I know I don't actually have to have it done, have 20 pages done by tomorrow. No, I have to have the book done by Friday, so I could just make that up later. That's just a generic procrastination thing, though. Yeah, I would love to read. If only I enjoyed the act of reading. Of course, that one you would think I would feel productive sitting down and reading a thing versus, like, sitting down and watching a TV show. So I don't know what the deal is there, but, yeah, games are the only thing I can ever actively bring myself to get through unless, like, there's some leash holding me and pulling me into doing the thing. Be it, like, a consistent schedule on which to read a book, or be it my brother saying, hey, let's watch this thing. Because otherwise, like, me sitting and watching it, like, me sitting and watching a TV show on my own, there's just a constant voice yelling in the back of my head, you could be writing your paper right now, or something like that. So I just never do it. And because I, in turn, never make time for myself, because of that, I get fatigued on the work and then just never get the work done anyway, because everything sucks. Being productive is hard. Threatened to capture video evidence of him not doing his work. He countered with writing his essay, so it would look like I was distracting him. I win. Good shit. Good shit. You fellas like Breaking Bad? I don't know. I'm out of things to talk about. Now we're at the point where I ramble about how being productive is hard. Wah, please feel sorry for me and my self-diagnosed condition. But I watched the first 2 episodes of Breaking Bad. This show seems mildly good, at least. Wowza. Now, it's 5 seasons long, and each episode is an hour, so I know I'll never get through it. But, I sure will attempt. It's mainly gonna, for me, it's gonna depend on if my brother, wants to keep going, because I do want to keep going. I'm only 2 episodes in, and I'm already pretty invested. Like, I know I'm gonna enjoy this, but, I know that without someone holding that leash, I'm probably not going to get through it. Because, like, I adore Star Wars The Clone Wars. It sure did take me 2+ years to get through Star Wars The Clone Wars when the series was finished. But my brother, like, I have to actively go to him, like, hey, do you want to watch this? And he's like, sure. Like, he doesn't seem all that enthused about it, so I sure hope he's not watching it only out of obligation, because, like, sometimes he insists that he likes it, but sometimes it seems like he's like, I don't know if I want to do this, which totally fair. Like, doesn't seem like oh, I'm sorry. I saw Mira's legs. She was sitting still. I saw Mira's legs, like, sitting, like, right here, and she was covered by the tree, and I thought it was an item I could pick up. Minutes been treating you well, Cottontail? You didn't see that just now, right? Then no one's ever gonna know that I got tangled up in my fishing line and started freaking out. Ah, come on! I've seen 2 seasons of it. It was good when I watched it. I watched like a season and a half of Breaking Bad. I was watching it with a friend, but we stopped. Yeah. I did watch 7 seasons of a show with hour-long episodes fine enough, so I don't know. Yeah. What show? Was that Mad Men? However, when I'm watching things with people, I can get through things incredibly fast. Me and a friend watched all of Bleach in like 3 to 4 weeks. That's like 200 plus episodes. Hell yeah. I'm curious. I'm gonna go check my notes. And I want to see how long it took me to watch Star Wars Rebels, because it took me 2 years at least to watch Clone Wars on my lonesome. And then when I decided to watch Rebels, I was watching it with my brother. So we got through that much faster. Let's take a look at my dashboard here. I'm curious. I'll be walking to Fishland while I do this. Okay, so on Thursday, I finished Rebels. So, you know, late February 2021. The first episode I watched... Nope, that's season 4. I was gonna be like, I got through that in 2 weeks. No. Fucking, how do I go through seasons on this? What do you use to track? I use tracked.tv. I have some misgivings with it, so there's probably a preferable solution, but I haven't really cared all that much. Okay, I started Rebels in late December last year, and then finished it just a couple days ago. So that's a 4-season show, so that's like a little over a season a month, and I'm okay with that. That's fine. That's fast enough for me. That said, anything over like 4 seasons, this is why I gravitate towards children's animated programming. Anything over 4 seasons, I'm like, I don't know if I could do that. I feel like there's probably some anime that I could get into, but they're just super fucking long, so I'm afraid to. Would you like to hear a brand new nickname I came up for you? Oh? Yeah, what is it? I'd like to call you Muffin. What do you think, Quackity? You know what? Everyone calls me Rambler. Yes, please. I accept the variety. I'm so glad you like it. Looks like I'll be calling you Muffin from now on, Quackity. Amazing. They now added minute-long video ads you can skip after 30 seconds. Oh, God! Yeah, that's kind of one of the reasons that I wanted Spotify Premium, is not just because the ads were bad, but because they consistently got worse over time. I do wonder if that's because, like, it's very rare that I talk to someone who, like, listens to music avidly that doesn't have Spotify Premium. Like, that's just a thing that, like, I totally get not doing it out of financial reasons. Absolutely. Of course, that's not a judgment, but a lot more people have Spotify Premium than I would expect to. Like, most people I speak to that have Spotify, they use Premium, and that's just shocking to me, because for the longest time, I was absolutely a holdout, and then my family was like, why don't we get this family plan? I'm like, yeah, sure, I'll pay for it for the first few months, even. Yeah, one of the reasons I was so willing to is because, like, over the time that I did use Spotify free, the ads were getting worse over time. They were getting longer. Video components started to be added. It was terrible. It's like staving off something worse, kind of. Though if there's something I particularly recommended when I start, I can get through things quickly. So, like, I watched the 4-season Netflix She-Ra in a few days. Very nice. Very nice. Granted, I think a lot of it for me is also just I stream so frequently. Oh, fuck. Like, up until very recently, I did 3 hours for 5 days for 5 nights a week. That's the time that a lot of people watch TV. Like, I'm doing this at the time that a lot of people are getting their binges in. And I'm okay with that. Like, I like playing games more than I like watching TV. That's pretty clear. I'd like to watch TV, but I'd also like to play games more. And I have a backlog to get through. But, like, yeah, a lot of it literally is just, I spend more time on one thing, therefore, I can't spend that time on other thing. Stream schedules are much more sporadic. But then I also like to binge stream, yeah. Yeah, watching things is hard for me. Watching movies is a lot easier for me than watching TV shows, just because of the pure time commitment. But, like, even that, it's been a long time since I sat alone to watch a movie that specifically I wanted to watch. Like, the past couple movies I've watched have been either rewatches of a thing that I already like because my brother happened to be watching it in the living room, and then I just sit down and watch it with him. and completely lose my day. Like I've watched The Last Jedi and Into the Spider-Verse. I think at least twice each, maybe one or two more times, more that over the course of the pandemic, which are movies that I did not specifically intend to sit down and watch, but then like I haven't watched a thing for myself in probably like a year. Wow. E.g., I played through Super Mario 64 120 SMS 96 in one stream when 3D All-Stars came out. Yep, you did. Well, I saw that. Stream was nearly 24 hours long. Hell yeah. I was there for at least part. I think I tuned in for like an hour each during the sunshine segment, and then whenever you eventually did Galaxy, I guess, something like that. Just stare at social media while listening to music and involve myself in far too many hobbies. Yeah, I also have a hard time lately listening to music like actively. Like, there's a bunch of albums I'd like to listen to that I'd like to listen to all the way through. But if I'm doing it while playing a game, I feel too distracted to listen to actually listen to the album and appreciate it for what it is. Like, there's any number of mindless, but it's also really hard for me to just sit and listen to an album without doing something else. But there's any number of mindless activities I could do while listening to an album, and I just don't. I'm like, I'd rather be playing this. Galaxy was 3 streams, but it was separate from the 64 Sunshine stream. Yeah. That said, the music thing is kind of also a case of just I'm using the time doing something else instead of listening to this, because recently, just yesterday, I finally 100%ed Sonic Riders, because the last like 80 play sessions of it have just been me doing races over and over to grind rings to finally buy up everything in the shop. So that's an entirely mindless process for the most part. So I listen to a bunch of podcasts. Meanwhile, I constantly actively listen to whatever music is on at all times, i.e. long car rides where I'm absolutely silent. I do think part of why I haven't been listening to music near as much is because I was listening a fuck ton to I was really getting into Tool like the most that I ever have last school year, because like what else am I gonna do on the big walks to and from class? Now I don't walk to and from class, so I do whatever it is I was already doing until like 11:59 whenever class starts. So like there's a lot less like idle. There's pandemic is fun because there's both more idle time in some ways and then less in other ways. Like my idle time is entirely spent at home where I could be doing any number of things, whereas like, walking to class, what am I gonna do except listen to music? Okay, I'll listen to the first half of this album on the way to class, and I'll listen to the second half on the way back. Like, it was neat. I enjoyed that. I honestly miss the walk to and from class because I don't have that anymore. Oh, what was I gonna say? So as a result, I haven't been listening to music near as much. I've been going through phases where like whenever I'm doing anything, I'll have like the same artist blaring in the background over the course of like 6 months at a time. Like I've always gone through music kind of in phases where I'll just listen to one artist and one artist specifically for an extended amount of time and then move on to the next artist. But it's never been as bad as during the pandemic. I don't know what causes that. I'm curious if there's like an actual reason for that, because when the pandemic hit, I started listening to Sonic music a lot more, and that lasted 6 months. And then after that, I think I just stopped listening to music for a bit for whatever reason. And then recently I've been on a Go Child kick. That's Penny Parker of Snapcube and Ryan Chongo Show Mitchum's band, and they're good. They're pretty good. And I've just been listening to their latest album. The one album. They have 2 albums. I've been listening to one of them over and over and over the past like 3 weeks. And it's just bizarre. It's like, I am actively aware that there's other music I would like to listen to. Will I listen to it? No. No, wait, you will not listen to anything else until this phase wears off. I'm listening to a lot less Tool. I rarely actively listen to music. I didn't until like 2 years ago, I guess. I was not a music person. Like, someone would ask me, who's your favorite band? And I literally wouldn't have an answer. And I feel really awkward about it, too. It's like, you really don't have anything? And it's like, music's not my thing. Accept it. What do you want me to say? But it was all passive. Like, you know, parents would be playing anything in the car. Took me a long time to actually, like, get into music as a thing. And now, like, I like music, but, you know, the way I listen to music is that I find an artist that I really like, and then I listen through their entire discography, and then just listen to them for an extended phase, and then move on to them and not listen to them for an entire year as I move on to the next artist, and then go through their whole discography. So, like, I like music, but really I like the discographies of maybe 6 to 10 artists. I miss those walks too. I mean, the pandemic's made all of us do everything differently. Yeah, absolutely. Some of it doesn't need, explanation. Favorite album is Adventure by, Median? Because it was the only album I was around for the release. There's the hype, the release, the listening, the vinyl. Yeah, there's very few albums that I have that relationship with. And unfortunately, some of the ones that I do have that relationship with, the albums suck. Or I've later, like, gotten more soured on the artist as a whole. Like, I would still technically call myself a big Eminem fan, but it's not something I'd be proud to call myself. Like, Eminem in terms of lyrical content sucks. I feel guilty anytime I listen to, like, 9 out of 10 Eminem songs, but it's still something I throw on as a guilty pleasure. And as a result, like, I discovered him, I guess, in 2017. So I was there right around specifically when Revival. Do any of you know Eminem? I don't know. His third latest album. Right around when that released, and there was like this big cycle leading up to it, and I was so excited, and then it was bad. The album's just bad also, like, even from Eminem standards, it's just a bad album. And then since then, he's done 2 big, like, surprise drops. So, like, you know, regardless of my relationship with the artist itself, it's really cool to wake up and, oh, there's just an album there. I can just listen to a thing tonight. Oh, isn't that cool? And then hate it. Or at the very least feel guilty to listen to it. But, like, that's just, you know, being around for an album's release and actively being invested enough in an artist to care. Like, that's just a neat feeling. There's that. There's those 3 Eminem albums. There's Eat the Elephant by A Perfect Circle. Was there for the lead up to that. And then Fear Inoculum by Tool. Is there anything else big? Hayley Williams of Paramore launched a solo career recently, and one of my big phases during one semester of college before the pandemic was just listening to her debut album over and over and over. I really like Paramore. Did you know that? But Daft Punk, though. Yeah, I wouldn't be able to tell you, like, more than one Daft Punk song. I mean, I'm sure I could listen to a song and listen to a Daft Punk song without knowing it was Daft Punk and recognize the song. But yeah, I don't know Daft Punk, like, at all. 4 albums I was hyped for at the time. So far, I'm 4 for 4, all bangers. Pretty much all the albums that, like none of them disappointed me on arrival. It's really just the Eminem songs that, like, soured on me over time. Eat the Elephant by Perfect Circle, Intruder by The Beta Machine, Fear Inoculum by Tool, Existential Reckoning by Pussifer. Daft Punk has 4 albums over 27 years. Nice. All 4 are stellar, though. I didn't know they lasted that long. I had no idea how old Daft Punk was. Very neat. Wow, 3 Maynard bands and the band made by bandmates of 2 of the Maynard bands. What a shock, yeah. I kept telling myself I was gonna listen to that Beta Machine album and that Pussifer album at some point, and I never did. I went through all of Tool and all of A Perfect Circle's discography, but I never went through all of Pussifer. 1993 to 2021. RIP. Wow, okay. I mean, and it's not even like a... I guess Pussifer just didn't send me into the phase the way the other bands did. That's it, epic. Because, like, I listened to Conditions of My Parole by Pussifer, and I really liked that album, and, like, the vast majority of the songs on it, and for some reason it just didn't go further, I don't know. Sometimes that happens, too, like, I like an artist, but then I only listen to one album by them. I still haven't listened to the other Go Child album. I'm kind of afraid to, because it's mostly, like, fandom songs. The second album is not that. So, like, there's an Undertale song on their first album, and, like, even if it's good, it's like, oh, okay, this is Undertale fan music. Not specifically a thing that would be bad, but, like, I don't know, Undertale, like, am I gonna go out of my way to listen to this? Probably not. Second album is very much an original piece of art. It's very, very good. Still have only listened to one David Bowie album, and it's Black Star. Me too. That exact situation. And then what was I gonna... Oh, Hayley Williams released a new album, like, 2 weeks ago. Another solo album, and I still haven't listened to it. Not even one song. Even though when that debut album came out... That, actually, to be fair, that debut album had, like, a really strange hype cycle where she released it in, like, 3 EPs and then released it as one full album. So, like... 1 week you get 5 songs, 2 weeks later you get another 5, and then 2 weeks later you have the whole thing, is basically how that went. Yeah, this one just was a surprise drop, and whereas for some reason the Eminem albums, when they surprise dropped, I was like, I'm listening to these tonight. When the Hayley Williams album dropped out of nowhere, I was like, okay, I'll get around to that. I'm sure it's good, but... Lots of people didn't like Daft Punk's latest album, Random Access Memories, for some reason. All I know about Black Star is just the Black Star song, and I only know about that because trans. Completely fair. Trans. One minorly, like, satisfying thing about Philosophy Tube's Identity video was beyond, like, just everything about it being, like, phenomenal and artsy and heartwarming and blah blah blah, was just the fact that she was able to use that song at all, because it felt like the culmination of the saga, because she used the Black Star iconography in her past 3 cosmonaut videos, and for some reason, like, going into the first one, I was like, okay, so this song's probably gonna be used somewhere here, or it'll be mentioned. No, it wasn't even mentioned. It was just like, she liked the iconography, and it spoke to her, and it was in the thumbnail, and that was basically it. So, like, to hear the song in the thing, I was like, fuck yeah. Fuck yeah. Not just because good song, but you could tell, like, she had been wanting to use that song for a long-ass time. Get the fish. Get the fish. My throat hurts, but not in the way the throat normally hurts. This fucking bone. I hate this bone. It is necessary. I don't remember what it's for. But this right here, like, it hurts. Do you ever feel that? It just hurts. The hyoid bone? I don't know what causes it. Don't think it's a bone. I didn't know what it was, and Thomas looked it up, and I think he said it was the hyoid bone. It's the one bone that, I'm pretty sure it is a bone, because I've read it described as, like, the only bone that isn't connected to other bones. Like, it's just free-floating right here. But I don't remember what it's for. I just know it's fucking uncomfortable all the time. Like, my throat always encroaches on it. And I really don't know what to look up for that. Like, hyoid bone pain, and there's just fucking nothing except, oh, it's fractured. No, it's not fractured. I feel like I know if it was fractured. It's like it going up against the skin and the muscles feels painful, but like in a very minor pain. Come on, get the thing. Fucking, What the fuck, it is a bone? What the actual shit? It's literally just a wishbone. Yeah. Am I the only one who's ever felt pain, like, on that specifically? Like, the only reason I looked it up... I didn't even look it up. Thomas looked it up for me, because I mentioned on stream that it hurt in this exact manner. I was like, wow, this is just a... Like, I'm just speaking, and, like, occasionally it'll... I don't know how to describe it. Like, very tiny pain. Dude, I didn't know it was a bone. Yeah, I just thought it was, like, an outer throat thing, which I guess I've never felt pain there. Yo, what is a bone? The hyoid bone. Like, the little V in your throat. Thought it was just raw cartilage. I think I might have said it was, I think I might have assumed it was cartilage. I think I, like, verbally said on that stream, what's this bit of cartilage here? And Thomas was like, no. It is not. Let me enlighten you. Anyway, I hate it. I wish it wasn't there. And I guess I'm the only person who's ever thought that. Identity, as I've said before, just gives me information / emotion overload. Kind of just shut down halfway through. Always fair. Always do the almost cry at the first video. I definitely cried to that video before. And then men abuse trauma is so fucking good. Like, that one's just good. That's what I'm gonna say there. Just fucking good. Hot take philosophy tube. Good shit. Oh, I also read that, like, it's notorious for breaking, like, when someone is strangled, like, that's the first fracture. I think it's there to, like, prevent swallowing of something. I don't know what it is. It has a purpose, but I don't recall it. I would hope it has a purpose. Otherwise, I could just get rid of it. Where's my fucking hyoid bone surgery? Just talking about it is making it, like, more noticeable, and I hate it. Because, like, normally it's this really minor thing that I don't... It's one of those things that you don't think about until you, like, actively notice it. Like, you're breathing right now. That sort of thing. Prevent swallowing of whole birds. How did I miss that? Alright, Don't think you're the only person who wants to get rid of bone in the neck. Yeah, just saying there's a bone in your neck. Like, that sounds... That's an unsettling thought. Even though everyone's got it. Then there's, like, this U1 right here. There's a V1 right here. And a U1 down here. And this one never hurts. And I guess it's not part of the bone. Or it is. I don't know. Maybe that one's cartilage? I don't know. I don't know. Banana. I've had garbage luck with this fishing, by the way. It's like you can feel your brain stem at the base. Yeah? Yeah? Very fucked up. Alright. Oh, okay. I'm gonna go dump all this off. And then I think I'm gonna go swimming to go grab some sea creatures. And, think I'll do one roundabout and then that'll be it for tonight. I think that makes some sense. Let me pull up what I should be looking for. Come on, come on. I can count the char as grabbled. The stream has been good vibes. The stream has been good vibes. It's been a bit since, you know, like normally I just feel not bored, but like there's nothing else to do by the end of an Animal Crossing stream, and half of them end by the first hour, because like we do the holiday and then that's that. Here we've just been vibing. It's been nice. I'm glad I woke up specifically for it and then enjoy falling asleep immediately after it ends. UK time is whack. No, time zones are just whack. No, your time zone specifically is weirder. What time is it for you, by the way? I can never remember the conversion from Central Time to UK. It's like a 7-hour difference. Currently 10 to 4. And for us, it's 10 to 10. 6-hour difference. AM? I assume so, because asleep. Your stream started at 1 a.m. my time. That's right, I did specifically calculate that out of curiosity a couple days ago. Yeah. Which is usually fine, but I was awake till like 8 p.m. to... Oh no! Oh no! Why is that? Hi Molly, I'm gonna speak to you. Where'd I spend too much on art supplies? I keep buying new pens and more ink than I could ever use. Imagine being a pen person. Couldn't be me. Nah, I have a preferred pen that I use. It's just, you know, cheap enough that I don't feel terrible buying new sets instead of refilling the ink. Nice impression of the professor guy from Phineas and Ferb. Yeah, I did definitely think a little bit afterward. That was a accidental Doofenshmirtz impression. Oh my! I found the... Oh, is that how it works for Gulliver? You know, I forgot that he was here. The communicator's just in the ocean here. Okay, I guess I'll give that to him once we get back on shore. For now... Reason is my mom didn't get back to me with the details for me to pay my uncle until late. I see. More Bibles. I had to pay for roof repairs. Oh. 3K. Oh boy. What happened? Was it a storm thing? Or just like an overtime thing? Yes! I got a firefly squid. More like a glow swim squid. Haha, 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 haha. Didn't have 3K in bank to pay. So I borrowed 3K and paying it back 300 a month. I see. Okay. I'm sorry that happened. That's frustrating. Nothing happened. I shall wait for details before saying more. Streaming is fun whenever someone in chat's like saying a continuous thing. That no judgment, of course. Someone in chat saying a continuous thing, and then you get part of it, you see it, and you have to restrain yourself from reacting to that part because you might be reacting wrong because you don't have the whole thing. But like you're the streamer. You're supposed to always be talking, so it feels like you're obligated to react to everything as it comes in. Like this roof needs doing because it's old. I don't make that decision because it's a flat building, so it's done by the management company. Okay. Just like a matter of circumstance that was inevitable. Understandable. One of the flats had a leak, so the roof needed doing. Damn. Oh man, I just remembered my own money things. Oh no. The advantage is that now when I sell it, I can say, new roof. That's fair. That's fair. Absolutely fair. I will be honest, a non-zero, by which I mean significant part of me not going back to the dorm this semester, beyond obvious pandemic reasons and the fact that I can take all my classes online, is, well, I am with my parents right now. There's very minimal money things I have to worry about right now. So I suppose I should cherish that while I have the ability. Because that's not gonna last forever. Mostly I have to wait 4 fucking weeks till my financials are reviewed and I can maybe get some money back and then maybe I can kind of pay for housing. Oh, God. Financials are reviewed in what way? Like on university end? Is this a dorm-related thing, or? Oh, that's a knock. Hold on a sec. Stand back. Hello there. Did it do the delay thing again, where I said, oh God, bye, and I hit it at the very second I said bye, and therefore it cut things off? On university end. Well, fuck. That's annoying. I'm just touching my hyoid bone. Hyoid. So you can't even mention a pain or it aggravates instantly. Like my shoulders, they fucked, but they felt fine all stream. They're suddenly not going to, and that is entirely self-inflicted. You get to laugh at me whenever I complain later about my shoulders hurting. It is strange just how much pain can be related to like being preoccupied with something, at least from personal experience, is that like, depending on what I'm doing at my desk, I'm either in like the greatest shoulder and neck pain on the planet or not at all. Like, oh, I got this twice. Cool. I can sell one. I can donate the other. But like this stream, I felt fine for the most part. But then whenever I'm like just watching a lecture, which is the same seating position, I'm simply turned this way and not this way. Like, I guess it's because I'm not actively doing a thing. Like, suddenly my shoulders feel like they're about to fall off. Brains are dumb. Pain is fucking bullshit. Which I guess, like, if the pain's not actively happening, but it's still in the same position that the pain happens otherwise, like, I suppose the deterioration is still happening. I'm just not aware of how it feels. I don't know. Collective sigh for the human body, please. Somehow messed up so badly on my FAFSA that the university thinks my mom has like $200,000 in annual untaxed income, so we had to go through a hullabaloo to correct that error. Now the university has to look at my money. Oh no! Yeah, that's a fucking headache to say the least. Because uni only gives free tuition to people with income below 60K, which we definitely have. We didn't get my tuition cut. Christ. Days ago, I had the nastiest headache I couldn't focus from, i.e. the caffeine withdrawal headache I mentioned on stream. Yeah. Pain sucks. Pain sucks. And also, like, just happens, like, regardless of your position. Like, I just said, oh, wait, if it's in the same position and I don't have the pain, but I do have the pain elsewhere, I guess that means I'm still experiencing the deterioration, I just don't feel it. No, not necessarily. It could just be that in other positions, like, it's deteriorating so much that the pain just fucking comes through no matter what position I'm in, because the human body is garbage trash. Shoulders specifically have a huge problem with, like, I don't think it's just eat your greens. I don't think it's just like a sitting wrong or a posture thing, because like this shoulder specifically like gets caught on something else. Is it the rib cage? I don't know. It like sort of grinds against something else. I don't want to describe it in too much detail because you gross body things with absolutely no content warning, but my left shoulder is significantly more fucked up than my right, and it's not in a way that hinders its activity. It's just annoying, and like sometimes it hurts more, but usually they both hurt. But it's just got this weird fucking thing that I don't even know how to describe it. I don't know what even to look up for it. Don't you love having problems that like you can't look up, and if you look up the wrong thing, like you generic WebMD funny moment where like, I have a mild cough. You're going to die. That's how I feel anytime I try and look up this shoulder thing. These are supposed to be vibes. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Listen, we did spend an extended amount of time talking about the throat bone and how mine hurts. And how it's fucked that the throat has a bone in it at all. No, you're fine. I'm not legit apologizing, but I am kind of. Throat bone got me fucked up still. Yeah, that's a fucked up discovery. I don't like it. I've gotten 2 new things this stream. 3 hours, and I've gotten 2 things. Okay, yeah, you can have the scallop. You can have the scallop. You can have it. You don't have to speak to me about it. I'll just hand it over. Hey, man, about the scallop. Yeah. This is a vibe stream. I can't do voices. If you love someone, send them a mixtape, and then think about it for 15 years. Works every time, man. Consider yourself truth. Going to die with this cursed knowledge. You will. And I will be the culprit. If I had to know it, so did you. I did not mean to hit the reaction button. Where are the other things? Okay, there's something. God, the swimming is so slow. I do wish more games let you just hold the button instead of having to actively press it over and over to swim fast. Like, it's kind of annoying, and like, here I'm having to actively press A over and over, but if I hold A, it does this. Which, wait, actually, is that as fast? Actually, wait, that doesn't look like much of a speed difference. Hold up, is this... I can't really tell. I think it's slower. Anyway, my main point of reference is, like, Super Mario Galaxy. Super Mario Galaxy, and really any 3D Mario where you swim underwater. I don't like doing the swimming just because I don't like actively pressing the button over and over when it could just as easily be accomplished by holding the button. Slightly slower, I think. Yeah, it looked like it, but I couldn't really tell. Like, there's Galaxy, you should just spin. This is true. But then if you're playing as Luigi, it consumes air. Grab it. Vibe stream, you don't need to go fast. This is true. I would simply like to. I would simply like to get to the next set of bubblies. Hello, friend. What was I gonna say? I mentioned Mario Galaxy. When you're Luigi, you can't just spin because, oh boy, he spins way faster, but at a cost. And that reminded me of how whenever 3D All Stars first came out, I did the one stream, the one-off where I just played Galaxy for fun. The next day, I 100%ed that file. So that was 100% Galaxy in 2 days, and then immediately after, I 100%ed it again with Luigi, which is you know, the most I've ever played that game in a short amount of time. And I wonder why I don't get my school things done. Granted, on a normal day, the streams are my only video game time, which, you know, understandable. It's 3 hours in a day. But okay, I gotta let this go. What was I gonna say? At some point I need to go back and 100% Luigi. I think I said I'd do that on the year anniversary of the release. Solid. Yeah, I think that was the first time I 100%ed Luigi. I think that was the first time I had a 242 star file. I'm gonna go turn in the Firefly Squid to Blathers. Nook's Cranny's closed. Eventually I'll do another 100% stream of Galaxy just because my first one's not archived. And I think this time I'll do Luigi because the first one I hadn't unlocked him. Got 242 ASAP when that game released back when I had a CRT and everything. Hell yeah. I don't remember I wonder how old I was when I first played Galaxy. Because, like, I would have been 6 when it came out. And I don't think I was 6 when I first played Mario Galaxy. I don't think so. I think it was a couple of years after that. I was a little late to the Wii's release because I was a small child and me playing the Wii was not dependent on Wowie, I want this console. It was I wasn't even exposed to it for a bit. What was it? Oh, a group of, like, old family friends that parents don't even speak to anymore, I don't think, came over and they brought their whole ass Wii and, like, 7 games with them, and, my mother just fucking bought it from them. She's just like, before they left, like, we loved it so much, I guess, that she was like, how much do you want for it? And that's our Wii. That was our first Wii. Which is kind of funny. It has since then kind of died. It overheats like 30 minutes into use, but we still have it. Anyway, the two games that I remember best, or I guess 3, Wii Sports was in there. That I remember best that was in that set was we got Super Mario Galaxy and we got Sonic and the Secret Rings. Not my first Sonic game, but one of my first. One of them. 3D All Stars doesn't have the little thing you get for beating 242 you do on Wii. On Wii, you get a picture in the messages on the Wii menu. Yeah, that's true. That's true. I think the photo manifests differently in 3D All Stars. I think Toad just, like, shows it to you. I don't know if that was the case in the original game, or if you had to go to the Wii message board for it. I'm not sure. But, yeah, you don't get, like, a personalized message in the board. Because, yeah, they couldn't do that. Can't set your Mii as the icon in 3D All Stars either. That's true. Oh, that's right. You could have like, yeah, wait. Which is a thing on Wii. Would your me have been in the photo? Is that a thing? That's a thing in Mario Kart Wii. I don't know if that was a thing in Galaxy. It was. Oh. It's like you have it in a very, very minimized form, kind of. Can't have the me. Which is a little weird, because there are Miis on the Switch. Before we go, I guess I gotta go give this to Gulliver. What I mean is it's been so long. Yeah, that's fair. I know for certain Mario Kart Wii had a me themed had one with the me in it. I don't know if Galaxy does. I don't think so. Thank you. I'm so sorry I can't join. Essay's eating my ass. I just want to let you know I love you, pal. Oh, I love you too, Thomas. And then you said that. So I revoke my love. Good luck on the essay, though. Donnie's unhappy. Oh, Mario Kart Wii was probably the other, was probably also in that set. Had a good set of first Wii games. Took a bit before we eventually got Brawl, I think. Melee was my first GameCube game. You would think that given my age that like my childhood system would have been the Wii, and like to a degree, yes it was, like but I kind of had 3 childhood systems because my parents already had an N64 that they bought solely to play Mario Kart with their friends in college or college age. Neither of them finished. And then I think the N64 is what like spawned my interest in video games. Like Star Fox 64 and Mario Kart 64 made me go like, whoa, there are more of these. My parents never got that. They just liked those 2 games specifically. So then mother went searching for, I think, an eBay lot with a GameCube, and got one that had like fucking 20 to 30 games, which God, I can't imagine today that would cost like multiple hundreds. I'm gonna say like 15-ish games. Games that would be expensive right now too. Melee was in there, and that was my first exposure to a lot of Nintendo franchises, of course. And the game just always struck me as like a super weird thing. Like, why is Mario on the cover of this? What the hell is this? So it really shocked me to know that there was a sequel for the Wii. Mario Kart Wii was a very good game. I miss Mario Kart Wii's wheelie mechanics. I do too. Doesn't Wii get a weirdly bad rap these days? At least I think I've seen a couple takes that are Mario Kart Wii's one of the weakest ones. And like, I don't know. I literally have I can't formulate an opinion on that. No idea. Yeah, I think I've seen some backlash to Wii, which is interesting. I think Wii's the best one. Wii's definitely the one I'm the most connected to. That said, I had Double Dash before I had Wii. It's weird, like, how many games that I did just have, because I guess my mother was lucky on Craigslist or eBay or whatever, and was like, you like these things, I got it for... I hit my camera, I'm sorry. You like these things, I got it for cheap, and when I got the GameCube, it was like so much being thrown at me at once that it was like, this, and this, and this, and this, and then the Wii came along and we had fewer games for it. So I played them. Whereas, like, I never finished... didn't finish Sunshine, but I played the hell out of Galaxy. Didn't play much of Double Dash, played the hell out of Wii, because, like, it was the only things I had for those systems. It was weird. I was a very lucky child, very privileged child in terms of, like, my video game exposure growing up, because, like, me saying, I really like Star Fox and Mario Kart, I know that you people would be perfectly content only playing the N64 things for the rest of your lives, but did you know there's another Mario Kart on this? Wouldn't it be cool if we had one of these? Actually, I didn't even ask for a GameCube. She just fucking got it. Like, that was an exaggeration. We didn't... She was just like, oh, you like these things? Here! Like, Why? Why did that happen? It's so fuzzy to me. We don't have our GameCube anymore. None of us in the house have any fucking clue what happened to it. We still have all the games. We don't have the GameCube. Makes me sad because GameCubes are expensive now. GameCube games are fucking expensive now. Mario Kart's been the only series that's ever made me consider getting Nintendo consoles. Even then, we never got Mario Kart Wii, and I only played the N64 Mario Kart for a week because my grandparents took their N64 back because my siblings and I kept fighting over the video games we played. Yeah, that sounds about right. 8 is fun, but I'll always put my stake in Wii. I had Double Dash also, and I love Double Dash, but I prefer Wii. Yeah, Double Dash was always the one that like I had but never really played all that much, which is odd to me. Yeah, my first 2 games, period, were Star Fox 64 and Mario Kart 64, and those were enough. Those were enough to... Not those were enough in that those were satisfactory. Those were enough to make my mom go out and be like, this makes him so happy, get more. And I can only assume that she got it real cheap. I certainly hope she got it real cheap, because a GameCube in like 10 to 15 games, that can't have been that cheap even back then. That was when the GameCube was like still selling. Or at least very shortly after it was still selling. I don't even use that GameCube because the Wii exists. I mean, that's true. I have no practical reason to get a GameCube. It's purely a collector's thing now. That said, I'd like to have a Game Boy player one day. Uh-oh, my leg aches now. Oh, God, I'm sorry. Still has the childhood broken grill on the side. Do I have anything else on this subject? I mean, surely, but anything immediately relevant, or should I go ahead and end it? I guess we're ending it. That's the thing, isn't it? Yeah, the main reason I haven't gotten a GameCube is there's literally no practical reason for it because the Wii is fully backwards compatible. GB Player is very only GameCube, yeah. And also expensive. Not the unit. The Game Boy Player unit's cheap as hell. It's the fucking disc. But yeah, no practical reason to get a GameCube because the Wii exists. It's very sad that backwards compatibility only existed for two Nintendo generations. You don't need the disc, TBH. Like, to make it run? I thought you did. Open source software version is actually, but I didn't know that was such a thing that existed. Wowza. Wowza. Better output, better scaling, better lag, of course. Everyone's better at Nintendo's job than Nintendo. Game development? What's that? I feel like I had something. I think it's gone. Huh. Wowza. Okay. Thank you, Pastor, for joining me. Probably no stream tomorrow. We'll see. The reason I say probably no stream is because yesterday my parents just like said, hey, we're doing a movie night on Tuesday. And it's like, oh, Tuesday movie night. Wednesday I'm not occupied at all, but was supposed to have work. So no stream that day anyway. And then Thursday I have taken off the schedule. So that's 3 days in a row with no stream. Well, whatever will I do with myself? So yeah, I'll probably start a new playthrough on Thursday. I have a pretty good idea of what that playthrough will be, but we'll see. We'll see. Thank you, Pals, for joining me. Hopefully I'll see you on Thursday for more video game. I'll update you as to what that is in the coming days. Yeah. Good night, everyone. Bye! Why the fuck does the throat have a bone?